Hello there, good morning.
Good morning.
I tell you what, we're really rather happy this morning because it's warm.
It's so nice out there. So it's like a tiny bit of frost this morning, but I just had a little wander outside. Yeah. It's so lovely.
There's actually a sun out.
I know, and there is warmth coming from it.
I know. And next week, I don't know if you've seen the temperature next week, but where I live, it gets up to 14 degrees.
I know, it's going to be glorious, isn't it?
So it does mean we're going to get back out in our gardens. If you're brand new to the show, by the way, I'm Shaun, this is lovely Bex.
Good morning.
And this is You Garden TV. And over the next 4 hours, we've got some amazing deals.
Yeah, we have.
We've
really got a couple of like brilliant ones. We're going to highlight the begonias first of all, because that is a winner. I grew those last year and they were amazing. So that's definitely a top tip.
And the best price we've ever seen. We've got lots of brand new items when it comes to bare roots. We've got peonies. Oh, they look nice. We've got loads of lilies. We've got Crocosmia coming up. We've got 2 different types of Dahlia. We've got all sorts. But we have got a special promotion. Now, if you spend over £40 today, you will get free postage. And it is worth doing that. Maybe get yourself some compost, some of the great pots we've got coming up on the show. But if you spend over £40, you get free P&P. If you spend under £40, you'll only pay 1 postage. So whatever the highest postage is, normally the biggest item, you'll only pay that 1 postage to cover your entire order. But what else have we got, Bex?
Okay, so we also have a free gift with purchase as well. All of this, by the way, is unlocked by using our special key code, which is just flashed up onto screen for you. So when you place an order, all you have to do is enter that code YGTV0424, and what we will do is automatically put into your basket a free gift worth nearly £20 in actual fact. Yeah. Now we're calling it a spring flowering bulb collection, but actually it should say spring/summer.
Yeah, it should.
It really should, absolutely, because what you're going to get in here is a whole collection of amazing bulbs. Those are the tulips.
And they're big ones, aren't they?
They are. They're the sky-high tulips. April-May time, 90 centimetres in height. We've got the Ixia in there. They're going to flower sort of May-June time, 50 centimetres in height. We've got the Allium spherocephalon, the drumsticks there. They're about July and August time.
There's a Muscari,
yeah, 20 of those. Love those. They're so easy to grow. And we have anemone in there as well. So we've got a mixture. All that flowering between March through to sort of August time. Yeah. So this is why it should say spring/summer flowering bulb collection.
There's the anemones there. Absolutely gorgeous. Do you know, my mum, bless her, my mum's 83, my mum taught me how to garden, and my nan did as well. But my mum was out yesterday.
Oh, was she in the garden?
Planting us spring bulbs.
Good girl.
At 83, bless her.
Well done.
I mean, she was freezing, but she...
It's good to get out and get the right clothes on, get out there.
She felt so much better for doing it, she
definitely
said. But next week is a lot warmer. So, good morning. Yes, got lots of regulars watching today and lots of brand new viewers as well. Good morning to Alwyn and Neil.
And to Bill as well. Good morning. Andy's back. Apparently he was watching last Sunday.
Good.
So good morning to you as well. We've got lots of viewers this morning. We can definitely tell gardening season is on its way.
And if you've got any questions, you can always ask on the group chat. We do have a brand new email as well.
Oh, we do, yes. Yeah, absolutely. You can email us.
So if you want to say hello or send in any pictures, then you can email the potting shed, ygtv@ugarden.com. And we are live now. We're in a potting shed in the middle of the U Garden 11-acre nursery. And say Sunday morning, 10:05, live for the next 4 hours. And I think, touch wood, my cough's finally gone as well, Bex.
Let's see.
No, it's...
You might have just jinxed yourself
It's
now.
Reduced, I should say. It's a lot better. Touching every bit of wood, there's a lot here. I'll be here for the next 4 hours touching wood, won't I? Anyway, let's begin. Which side do you want to get to?
Begonias.
I'm totally with you.
Begonias.
And I'll be honest, when we were going through the show earlier, just chatting about it and preparing, I said to Bex, I said, oh, the begonias, yeah, $14.99, that's pretty good. And then I realised that for the show, if you put the offer code in, they're $6.99. So suddenly that deal is really, really good. So
absolutely amazing.
At the moment, and this is the thing, what you do need to use a code, because sometimes the prices would be so much higher. So at the moment, they're showing $12.99 and $6.99 postage. But if you put in YGTV0424, add the code, suddenly they go down to $6.99 and $4.99 postage. and you'll get your spring flowering 150 bulb collection, which is worth £20 as well. So suddenly, I mean, that delivered for £12 is pretty amazing.
That is amazing. That's like, what's that, 69 pence per bulb we're talking here?
Yeah.
That is incredible, tuber.
Now, I can honestly say that begonias, for me, are the best plant to grow in summer. I think they outshine any of the bedding plants.
Well, they're definitely up there. I would say certainly top 3. Certainly an absolute favourite. It was my 100% top flowering plant that I planted last summer. I was so impressed with these. I should have sent Stu pictures. I'm sorry, Stu. I'll find them in a minute and send them to you. They are brilliant.
I think I should have done the same, actually.
Yeah,
I would
say
so good. Personally speaking, they're my number 1 because I look after a pub garden. My mother have got a pub in our village, and I love the gardens, look great.
Yep.
But I can't spend every hour of every day there. And begonias just look after themselves.
They really, really
so
do.
Easy.
And I think this is why they are a customer favourite and our favourite for a few different reasons. You know, they're pretty much guaranteed performance, aren't they? They can deal with all the summer weathers. They're really tolerant of our British summer weathers, which, let's face it, we know that we never know what we're going to get, basically.
It could be wet, it could be dry.
Yeah, and they are tolerant of all of those things. Incredibly low maintenance. I mean, I didn't deadhead mine. It does help if you do, so I am going to recommend.
No, because the flowers fall off.
They do. They tend to fall themselves, don't they? So you don't actually need to do too much to them. And they don't mind dry, wet. They don't mind pots. They don't mind borders. You can do pretty much anything with them. So they're really, really tolerant of all those things. And they don't
mind, what I love, they don't mind shade or full sun.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I have never, ever been disappointed with begonias.
No.
Ever.
But these are even better, because these are Belgian begonias.
Yeah.
And Belgian begonias, they're the best, okay? So these come to us from world-renowned Brenida.
That's a nice new word.
Breeder.
Brenidas, I like that. I like that, basically.
Arnold van Petegem, and he spent he's world-renowned, basically, for breeding the best begonias. Spent his whole life breeding these. And what you get with this particular variety is longer flowering, more upright, stronger. They're just fantastic. All the way through from about June time, all the way through to those first frosts, you just get flower upon flower upon flower. And in this collection, you've got the biggest selection of colours. They're big, they're blousy, they're single-coloured, they're bi-coloured. They are just extraordinary.
And with them being trailing, ideal for your hanging baskets, of course.
Brilliant. In fact, I'm going to do begonia hanging baskets.
That's what I did last year.
I had mine in pots, big pots, and I put multiples into the pots, and they beautifully cascaded over the edge of the pots, so you can totally keep them in pots, but I'm definitely going to do hanging baskets this year.
No, you do need to keep them frost-free, so I'd start them inside. I'd normally do them in seed trays with shallow compost, just literally just gently cover the top, and then the moment that you know the frosts are clear, just put them outside.
Absolutely. And the other thing is they're slightly bowl-shaped.
Yeah.
And so it's the bowl shape upwards. That's where the sprouts come from.
So the curve...
Should we get one out? Let's show them.
Because I'll be honest, sometimes you pick up a begonia and you're not...
Yeah, you don't know necessarily, do you, with begonias?
Because it's not always obvious, but...
Yeah, look, so you can see the rounded bit is the bottom.
And then the concave bit is the top.
Yeah, that's where the shoots come from.
Yeah, but it's worth just having a good feel, and the rounded side is the bottom, and that's the top. But honestly, they are the very best, and I love the fact sun, shade. Say if it's wet, dry. I mean, obviously if it's dry, you do water, but it's not like certain bedding plants like that. But you know, when they get a dry few moments of sun heat.
Yeah, they give up. Don't they?
Give up. And say I never deadhead them because when the flowers are spent, they just fall off.
That's it. And you get really big blooms here as well. You get nice big, up to 6-inch blooms on these as well. So they're bigger, they're better, they're stronger, they're longer flowering, and they can deal with all of our British summer weathers.
Right.
Even when they're heavy with rain, they can cope with these.
Brand new today.
Yeah, so good.
Get them in your basket now. We're going to have a big show by the looks of things. 630, 193. I'm going to be buying several bags of those.
Yeah, me too. Well, so my hanging basket, I've got big hanging baskets, 10 tubers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm probably going to put 5 or 6 into each of those hanging baskets. Plus, I want my pots as well, so I'm getting multiples of those.
And at that price, working out less than 70 pence each. And say, get a head start, pot them up now, keep them indoors, frost-free or in a greenhouse. And then the moment the frosts are gone, you can start to pop them outside as well. And they just need to be very shallow planted. So literally just a sprinkling of compost over the top of those. So do plant them really shallow. Now we've also got, coming up next, well done if you got those begonias in your basket already, by the way. Right, this is our English lavender coming up next, and it's a brilliant time to plant this right now. It's a lavender hidcot, triple deal, either $3.99 each, or if you triple up, I nearly said double, no, triple up, you can go for 3 lots for £8.99. And when it comes to a true performer, lavender hidcot, oh my word, it's evergreen. It will look great all year round, but in summertime, when you get the lavender, it looks fantastic. The bees and butterflies will adore it, and the smell is phenomenal. And very easy to grow. They like a sunny spot, but they actually will tolerate poor soils. So if you've got soil that's not in great nick, doesn't matter with lavender, just a sunny spot. They do like to have fairly free draining soil, because where mine I was a little bit clayey, so I just made sure when I potted the lavender I popped in lots of grit and gravel as well, just to help with the drainage. But over the next few years, these will form massive clumps and produce the most amazing lavender that smells great, that looks great. And then some people trim the lavender back in autumn, some do it in springtime. The choice is yours. There's always a debate which is best, but the lavender will just get bigger and stronger over the next several years. And is that yours, Bex, that we're looking at?
Yes, that's mine. So I did that video because I really wanted to show how many bees were attracted to that lavender. Now, I planted mine, I don't know, about 7 or 8 years ago, and every year without fail that comes back, and it is absolutely glorious. And the amount of bees, the amount of butterflies that are buzzing around it are just absolutely incredible. They are so easy to look after, and I genuinely do believe that every garden should have some lavender in there somewhere. I've got it as a long border down the side of the driveway, but if you don't want to plant it out, you can easily keep it in a pot. The great thing about lavender, not only the long flowering season and the pollinators being invited in, is that it is quite drought tolerant as well.
Yeah, very good point.
So, I mean, I barely water mine at all, to be honest with you. And obviously when you keep something in a pot, you generally need to keep an eye on it a little bit more as far as watering is concerned, which you're still going to need to do, but it is so drought tolerant, it won't be fussy. It's not going to need your attention every single day.
Yeah, very good point, actually. Now, I planted mine about 3 years ago, and I wanted to create, lavender can look great in a kind of country cottage garden, but equally it's often used in formal gardens with buxus. And I wanted to create, with my garden, I've created different areas. And the front, I wanted it to be really formal. And I tell you what, in the last 3 years, my plant started off this kind of size. And now, look at this. This was last summer. I'm quite proud of my buxus as well. But,
you should be. That looks amazing.
But the lavender was phenomenal. And that has grown from, you know, a small plant into something that's about, I'd say each clump is about I'd say nearly 1.5 foot in terms of width now.
Yeah, for sure. And that's the beautiful thing about it, because it actually establishes and grows together very quickly.
Yeah.
So when you plant a line of it like that, within probably 2 years, 2 to 3 years, actually it just looks like one lavender plant, because it just kind of gathers together, doesn't it? It's beautiful.
God, so
that's a great deal as well, because you are getting 3 of those, aren't you?
You are for $8.99 if you trip up.
$8.99. So that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to create a long border like that, or like I've got, you just need to buy, you know, 6 or 9 of those, and you're getting a really good deal there. Beautiful.
And actually, sometimes if you put in big quantities, you get even more savings.
Yes.
We often do that. If you're buying in bulk, you will get extra savings, but always put the offer code in, won't you, which is YGTV0424. Right, we're going to quickly move on now. It's a brilliant time to plant your bare root roses, and we've got 5 glamour roses named after you, Bex.
Thanks.
Yeah. She's looking good today, she always looks good. But these are the glamour roses.
Glamour gardening.
$19.99, £4 each these work out today, and postage is included. And I just want to talk about how they arrive, because I'll be honest, when they arrive, because we deliberately wrap these as tightly as possible just to save on packaging and to make them really safe.
I'll just get one that we.
So that when they arrive, I'll be honest, it doesn't look that much, but when you actually unwrap this and then have a look at them individually, each one of these should have between 3 and 4 stems on it. They've been dug up at their most dormant, and then they've been in the cold store. So once you unwrap them, soak them, and then start to plant them, they will start to just burst back into life. And you're just showing us a rose here, right, Bex?
Yeah, so this is the Raspberry Ripple. We'll be showing you this one later, but essentially they all look the same once you unwrap them. This is what a bare root will look like. It's exactly what we're saying. It is bare of, you know, the plant, the pot, the compost, etc. So that's what it looks like, and it just is in that dormant state. It's fast asleep. When you get it home and you unwrap it, you soak it for a few hours, maybe even overnight, and then you're going to plant it out. Very, very simple and easy to do. Dig a nice deep hole, break up the soil beneath it, add in some mycorrhizal fungi. Our premium professional compost is amazing, and then plant it in. What we're going to suggest to you, I know there are differing opinions on this, but we recommend planting the union slightly below the compost surface, though to be honest, if you don't, it'll be fine. I've done it both ways, and both have been absolutely fine. But we suggest to about here with the compost.
I prefer putting that under.
And you will get amazing displays this year. It's amazing how quickly your roses grow. You'll start seeing these new shoots coming out, and you will get flowers this year.
And you get 5 wonderful colours in this one. So there's a yellow, there's a pink, there's a red, there's an apricot. There should be white in there as well. Yeah,
and they're really good varieties that we're talking about here. There are Award of Garden Merit holders from the Royal Horticultural Society. That's the that's the white one. So we are looking at Pascali there. That was voted world's favourite. That's Arthur Bell, Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit. It's absolutely glorious. I've got that one in my garden. Queen Elizabeth Pink, a Floribunda. That was for the coronation in 1954. Voted a world's favourite as well. We've got the Queen Elizabeth Red included in there, classic beauty. And we've got the Peace, which is the orangey coloured one, and that was awarded to delegates at the end of World War II. So you've got a really beautiful variety, and some that have, you know, meaning as well, if that's why you're interested in planting roses in your garden.
What an amazing... That's so really well-known roses there.
Well-known, award-winning, easy to plant, easy to grow, and really, really simple to look after. I used to think roses were tricky, but they're so not. You don't even have to be too careful on pruning. And I know there are purists out there who'll tell you to prune in a certain way, and of course there's a few rules that you can follow, but actually roses are so tough, so resilient, that they will always bounce back.
But to think you've got 2 Queen Elizabeths in there.
Yeah, that's lovely.
The Peace Rose, the Arthur Bell.
Indeed.
It's really famous.
I love the Arthur Bell. It's one of my faves. I just love the yellows.
It's so yellow.
They're gorgeous.
And then you've also got the white one.
Yeah.
Which, that was an award winner, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was the world's favourite, I think. Yes, that was the world's favourite.
So really well-known varieties. And I say, don't be disappointed when they arrive, because they're really tightly wrapped and packed. When you spread these out, instantly look more once you actually unwrap them and spread them out. But each one will grow into a phenomenal rose that will flower. That's what it looks like unwrapped. So suddenly straight away you realise the value, don't you?
Absolutely, for sure. And you know, you can plant these out into borders if you want to create a lovely border of roses. Or if you want potted roses, you can keep these in pots. I've got a couple of them. You know, I've got some in pots, I've got some in borders. You can do what you want with those.
Yeah. Anyway, good morning, by the way.
Hello.
Do you know, we both get so down in winter, and it's just so nice. We drove to work and it was lighter.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
And the weather's really good next week. We can get out in the gardens, 14 degrees.
Yeah.
So
we need to find some time to get out there, don't we?
I've got 2 days off next week.
Hey, very good.
Yeah, and the best day for gardening for me is Friday, so I'm going to spend the whole day.
Which is our day off, so yay.
Yeah. I'm really excited, and thank you, lots of you joining us. Right, also coming up, by the way, we've got Dahlias. We've got dinner plate dahlias.
Yeah, the big ones.
Yeah, the dahlias are almost as big as my head. I don't have a big head, do I?
No.
And then we've got a blackberry dahlia. What do you like, Bex?
I'm on the Calla lily. That beautiful black Calla lily. I can't wait. I have them. I am going to be planting those. I just think they are classic. They are beauty. And the black one, I just think you don't get many black flowers.
No, you don't. That's really dramatic.
And the Leucothoe, obviously. Leucothoe.
By the way, do be part of the group chat, won't you? We'd love you to come to and have a little chat with us. And it was Bex's birthday on Friday, by the way.
It was my birthday.
Oh, no.
It was great. I loved it. Thank you. So a couple of people sent me birthday messages, so thank you very much for sending me a birthday message. I really appreciate it.
And I've bought Bex a heated seat mat.
Heated seat?
Heated seed mat.
Yeah, I'm excited because I'm not a big seed planter and grower.
Oh, you will be.
But I'm trying it this year. So I've got my
sweet peas.
Thank
you're doing.
I've got my sweet peas, so I'm going to plant those and I'm going to do it on there.
So now you've got your heated mat. Your seeds are going to love you.
I can't wait. I'm very excited.
On my birthday, Bex bought me some head gardener socks, which I love. And I always wear them when the head gardener's actually here, but he doesn't know. Right, anyway, moving on. We've got our Skyscraping lilies coming up next. Amazing value on these, 25, 5 of each variety, down from nearly £40 to £13.95. And these lilies, Bex, we've got lots of different lilies on the show, but these are going to grow taller than me, aren't they?
They are indeed,
and I'm 5'10", I'll have you know.
Well, these can get to 6 feet in height once they establish. First year, we're not saying that they're going to get to 6 feet. They'll probably get to 3-4 feet in height, so that's still pretty tall. But then once they, because remember, they'll come back for you year after year. They're hardy, so you don't have to worry about them. Yeah, they can get up to this height. But we're not talking about a single lily flower on, a tall, strong stem here. We are talking about 20+ blooms that will boom. Booming blooms,
yes.
Indeed. 20+ blooms on each of these really strong stems. And they are strong. They really shouldn't need staking. They might if you're going to put them in a more exposed area. I would suggest try and find a sheltered spot for them, because obviously you don't want the wind blowing all the petals off. But these are spectacular. They really are going to be jaw-droppingly spectacular. Wow. And having those 5 varieties, that mixture of colour as well.
And that's the Matisse though, isn't it?
Love the Matisse. Yeah. That's the one I'm going to plant this year. Love it.
Now, in terms of value, they're working out about 57 pence a bulb. And when you think of the huge displays he's going to give you year after year...
It's a tree, basically. Yeah. Each one of those is going to create a tree lily. So fragrant as well.
And even if there's too many for your garden, think about maybe giving a bag to a friend, a relative or something like that, or even growing them in pots, because they'd make great cut flowers, wouldn't they?
Yeah, for sure. You can happily. In fact, I'm going to try one in the pot. I'm going to try one in a pot, and I'm going to try one in a border as well. If it's in a pot, I'm not sure you'll get the full 6 feet out of it. Maybe if it's a nice big pot. So you might restrict the height slightly.
Yeah, but it'll still be big.
But you still get big, beautiful, heady, blooming fragrance from them.
They are absolutely amazing. That's Stu's in charge of our technical department here at Yew Garden.
Yes. He also has a wonderful wife who does all the gardening.
Yeah, that's Sam's work.
That's Sam's work, I think, yes.
But wow, I mean, and that's been there years, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think Stu was saying about 7 or 8 years, and it comes back, without fail every single year. It's really reliable, and if you think about, we were talking about the value for money, 57 pence per bulb, but then multiply that out for how many years these are going to come back for you. That's where I think the value really starts to come in, doesn't it? Because it's not just for what you're buying today; it's for the so many years that you're going to have these in your garden.
Yeah, and we do say lilies are winter hardy, but if you're unsure if you live in a particularly cold area, you can always put a bit of mulch over, couldn't you?
I just think we should all get in the habit of mulching. Just everything. It's never going to do any harm. It can only ever do good. So even if we say something is winter hardy, it doesn't do it any harm to give it some mulch.
Right, a few quick hellos.
Good morning, Barbara.
Good morning, Amanda.
And Carol. That can't be your mother, can it? Can she message
She wouldn't
in?
know, but she's watching.
Good morning, Carol.
Morning, Mum. Dawn, she's watching.
Oh, there's so many people. It's getting exciting.
Yes. So,
Degsy. Good morning, Degsy.
So thank you, and we really appreciate you joining us here on Yew Garden TV. We love being in our potting shed.
We do love it.
And it's warming up now, look.
Best place to be.
No gilet today. I'm known to wear a gilet in the potting shed, but I don't need it today.
No, I kept my scarf on, but I'm actually feeling quite toasty. So, are we twinning? We
are a bit, aren't we?
Amanda's commenting.
We are like an old kind of husband and wife team, aren't we? We finish each other's sentences now.
We're potting shed husband and wife.
We are,
aren't we?
yes.
I'm all right with it.
Yeah, I'm all right with that.
I'm all right with that.
Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, we're bringing in the We're bringing in the Crocosmia for you. Now, they have arrived. They are here.
Yes.
I promise you, they are in that place just over there, but the door was locked, we couldn't actually get in to bring them out for you. But they are here, so they are ready to be dispatched to you. Okay, so Crocosmia, you've grown these, haven't you?
Yeah, and
I've got them.
I got mine about two years ago from Yew Garden.
Yep.
And I'll be honest, first year I got a few flowers,
yep,
a few leaves. I was a little disappointed. Year 2, they were amazing.
Yeah.
And now I can already see loads of shoots coming through in year 3. But honestly, the difference between year 1 and 2 was
immense.
Huge.
Well, this is the thing when you've got your perennials. There is a saying with perennials: first year they sleep, second year they creep, third year they leap.
Yeah.
And I love that because it is so, so true, isn't it? And when we're talking about gardening, we're very much planting for the future. In fact, I heard our head gardener say something the other day about live life like you're going to die tomorrow, but garden like you're going to live forever.
That was it, yes.
And I love that,
yes,
for sure. You're always investing in your future when you're planting in your garden, aren't you?
Yeah.
Now, Crocosmia has a Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit. I always like to point that out because I think it gives me confidence to shop and plant.
Does.
It gives you confidence. This is a proven performer in our UK
You know
gardens.
it's a winner, don't you?
You know it's a winner.
And these are one of the easiest to grow. They're very unfussy. I mean, I've got mine in my kind of Mediterranean garden, but they don't need full sun. They're happy in a bit of shade,
they thrive
aren't they?
in all conditions.
Yeah.
Moist or dry, sun or part shade, sheltered or exposed. They aren't fussy.
Yeah. And the one thing I will say is they do spread. It's amazing how much they spread. Now, that is not a problem because I wouldn't call them invasive because they're very easy to lift. But over the next few years, you will get more and more clumps and you'll be able to divide them and move them around as well.
Yeah, they're brilliant. And postage is included on that one as well, so love that.
Well, top recommendation for me for those, $9.99. And I'm not being funny, if you buy one Crocosmia in a pot in summer with a few flowers in it, you could easily spend that kind of money for one.
Totally,
Easily. Right.
Begonias, obviously.
We knew you'd love these. We love them.
We do love them.
We're just going to work out how many to buy. So, brand new for the show today, just come in. You're going to get 10 of the Belgian trailing giant begonias for only $6.99. And don't forget, with every order today, as long as you use the code YGTV0424, you'll get all the promotions, but you'll also get your free gift worth nearly £20.
You will. That's why you've got to use that code. Always, always, whenever you place an order, put the code in. Because you wouldn't get that price, basically.
No.
If you didn't put the code in, you would be paying $12.99 or $14.99 for those. And of course, when you enter the code, you get that free gift entered into your basket for you. This is what unlocks all of the amazing deals, and this is why it is fantastic to shop direct with us at Yew Garden, because this is where you'll get the best deals.
Yeah, and we should say those begonias are selling really, really well already.
Stu, I sent you an email with my pictures on. Have you got it?
Oh, were these your baskets?
Yeah. Well, I just sneakily sent an email with my pictures on of my begonias.
So phones.
He'll get them for us.
Phones are allowed in the potting shed, as it happens. Some of you will know, but me and my other half, we own our village pub, and we love being part of the community. And I'm head gardener at the Fox.
Proud of this. He's the only gardener, but you know,
I am.
Still the head gardener.
And do you know what? I think it's really important when you go to a pub that the garden looks nice.
I agree. If you go to a pub and the hanging baskets are all dead and a bit straggly,
I'm like,
the food can't be very good.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep going.
And do they even clean the toilets?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like that. If I see two dead hanging baskets outside a pub, it really puts me off.
It's about that curb appeal, isn't it?
It is.
So I completely understand it for your pub garden, but it's the same for our homes as well,
It is. But the reason why last year I did pretty much all begonias in the hanging baskets, because I don't have endless amounts of time.
That's it.
You know, I've grown things like petunia hanging baskets, and you turn your back and you don't water them, or you stop deadheading them, they can look really bad quite quick. I love petunias, don't get me wrong, but for pub hanging baskets, these are the easiest because you don't really have to deadhead them. The flowers just fall off when they're spent.
Yep.
They'll survive in sun or shade and anything in between. If we get a wet summer, a lot of petunias, for example, would just turn to mush.
Yeah.
These are resistant. So
totally, yeah. And they've been specially bred for that as well.
Yeah.
You know, the Belgian breeding that we're talking about here, the guy that bred these, he spent his whole life perfecting this particular breed. Bred for longer flowering, bred to be bigger blooms, bred to be stronger. You know, the upright ones are more upright. And the flowers just last for such a long time.
Honestly, grab those today. Now, you do need to keep them frost-free.
Yes.
So start them inside or start them in your potting shed, your greenhouse.
And you could start them now, couldn't you?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
If you start them now, they'll just start to flower earlier, so you get a longer flowering season.
I didn't last year. I did not start them off. I started them off outside once the frost has passed, and we'll show you when Stu's got the pictures. I still had the most amazing display. So you've got choices either way.
But see, if we get sort of like a really nice early spring, I just want to have my baskets
as early as possible. Totally.
But
I will be doing them early this year because I want them in my hanger basket. So I am going to start these off frost-free indoors so that I can get them into my hanger baskets and have just a full display for such a long time.
Now, I'm just going to be really honest with a begonia. Sometimes it can be slightly hard to work out which way to plant it. So give it a good feel, and that's the bottom, the curved side. The centre is the concave bit.
Yeah, it's just slightly lower there, isn't it?
Yeah, but now and again, it's just like that one, I'll be honest, it's slightly harder to work out.
Yeah, I'd go that way.
Yeah, well, this way. Yeah, I would.
But the thing is, if you start these off indoors, you're going to start them off in sort of a shallow tray, potentially, of compost. And then you'll be able to start seeing fairly quickly. You'll see the shoots. Yeah. So if you've got one round the wrong way, you can easily quickly flip it. It'll be fine.
I normally start mine off in seed trays with literally a tiny smattering of compost over the top of them. And then when you start to see the green shoots, as Bex says, you know that you're on the right path, so to speak. But grab them today. Amazing value, working out less than 70 pence each, and phenomenally grown Belgian breeding in those 6301 and 93. Really busy for those, as you can imagine. Right, Bex, where do you want to go?
We're going to talk pots. Yeah, we are.
We have got some nice ones, haven't we?
We have got some lovely pots.
Do you want to see some of our pots?
I'm going to move the Cordyline out of the way, which is coming up in a bit for you, by the way. The lovely Southern Splendor.
Can I just bring my favourite in?
Yeah, do it. Do what you like.
I just love these.
Do whatever you want.
Honestly, many of you will have heard us mention him. He travels the world, and nearly said travels the world on holiday.
I was just thinking it. I was just thinking it.
No, I'm going to backtrack. No, he travels the world searching for great products, and he gets to see thousands of pots. But he specially selected these for You Garden, and they are beautiful.
I love them.
To me, they're the kind of pots you can imagine in there's a very high-end department store that has a garden section. My friend John goes there, and I can imagine them being sold there. They've just got a very upmarket look and feel. But don't you think, Bex, they'd lend themselves to both contemporary and traditional gardens?
Yeah, definitely. And I also like that you've got a very universal colour scheme as far as these are concerned.
Very neutral, isn't it?
Yeah, it's neutral, so that it's going to fit into all different, planting schemes, whether you've got a traditional garden or a more contemporary garden feel. So I think this will work in a lot of different places. I love the square bit as well. Obviously, I do love round pots, but I just think that square shape is a bit more designer, a bit more glorious, and that tapering. Beautiful. The tapering down to the thinner bit at the bottom is absolutely stunning. And I think they will work for if you've got bulbs that you want to plant in here, if you've got any, the Southern Splendor, for example, would look incredible in there.
That's like job done, isn't it?
Pair of those next to your front door. As this grows taller, it creates like a trunk, so it gets taller, and then you can underplant with other things as well.
The Mimosa. Now, Mimosa can grow quite big and quite quick.
Yeah, but it'd be fine in there for a while.
Yeah, and you can contain it, of course, as well. So they are available today. You get two for $24.99. You've got a £15 saving on those as well. Now, in terms of finding everything on the show, go to yougarden.com. Click on to You Garden TV. That takes you straight to the live show. And then everything that is actually on the show is available for you to view as well.
Yeah, and you can shop the entire website as well.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what we've got here in our potting shed right now, but you can go into, you can see all those bits at the top along the sort of grey bits. That gives you all the different selections or sections that you can go into, and you can shop the entire website. Just always make sure you enter the code YGTV0424, because that will unlock any special deals, savings, and it will put that free gift into your basket for you.
Actually, just because we've got lots of new viewers today as well, there is a discount club that you can join. Even if you're placing your very first order today, you can join our discount club. It's £5 for the entire year on auto renewal, and you can cancel at the end of 12 months. But instantly today, you would get 10% off every plant and accessory. That does include our premium professional compost, by the way. 5% off every outdoor living and gifts order. You're actually going to receive £20 worth of U Garden vouchers, and you can use those throughout the year. It's basically one every 3 months, but it is like getting £20 cash back, and you've only spent £5, and you'll be entitled to exclusive offers, competitions, and expert advice as well. The difference, by the way, is the £5 membership on auto renewal, and that price will hold for the rest of your life, basically. If you notice at the bottom, it says the price will never go up. The £10 one is just a 1-year membership that will expire at the end, so the choice is yours. Right, moving on to some more pots, though, because... Oh, that Mimosa, by the way, keep your eye on that. But these are the aged look. These are named after me. So Bex was the Glamour Roses today. I'm the aged look. Tuscany Roman planters. 2 for $11.99, because it's a buy one get one free. And these are one of the biggest pots that we do. They're 46 centimetres, 30 litres in capacity. So Bex, these are actually big enough to grow even like our mini orchards in and things like that, aren't they?
Absolutely, yeah. So if you're a regular viewer, you will hear us talking a lot about our heavy-duty black. Yes. Which are these ones here. Just to give you a comparison, so these are the 30 litres heavy duties, and these are commercial growing pots. They've got the extra drainage holes around the sides, they've got the drainage holes in the bottom. I'm just showing you the comparison because they are the same size. The difference here, obviously, with our Age Look Tuscany Roman black planter is that they don't have the extra drainage holes, but they look so pretty, don't they?
So if you wanted to maybe grow your own, but you wanted the pots to look a little bit more decorative, then these could be superb. And actually, at this kind of size, you can really, really grow quite big things in here. So your mimosa would be fine in here. You could grow potatoes in there. You could grow raspberry canes, your tomatoes. So if you just want to sort of grow your own to look a little bit more decorative, then go for these pots. But they are amazing planters.
They are, aren't they? They're pretty.
Yeah, whatever you want in there. Say mimosa, cordyline.
I'm bringing the cordyline back in because that red colour against that black is absolutely
quite dramatic, isn't it?
Really dramatic. It's just one example. To be honest, you could put your begonias in here. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, you could.
I'd probably go 5 or 6 personally.
Yeah, I would. And then something big in the centre.
Yeah, and they would gently. They would look amazing.
What would you put in the centre, Bex?
I don't know. Or maybe.
I'm thinking that viburnum.
Viburnum.
Yeah. So I'm just imagine something like a viburnum, and then, as Bex said, all your trailing begonias all the way around. So normally these are $12.99 each. So you've got £1 off. And I'm not gonna jump up and down and scream about having £1 off. However, you actually get a free one as well. So normally 2 would be nearly £26. Today on New Garden TV, you get 2 for £11.99. And they're great pots. I mean, they look fantastic. You'll also get, don't forget, with every single order, as long as you use the code YGTV0424, you will get your free bulbs, which will look like this. And we're calling them spring, but it's spring into early summer, really.
Yeah.
So you've got tulips, and it's still a good time to plant tulips because they're not going to probably flower till, I'm going to say, if you plant them now, March, April. You've also got muscari, you've got the anemones, You've got the alliums. Now, I've never grown these bags.
Ixia?
No.
No, do you know, I don't think
I've never grown the Ixias.
either. They've got a nice fragrance to them, apparently.
Never grown them.
But what I love with this collection is, first of all, it's worth 20 quid and it's free in your basket as long as you enter that code. But also the flowering season that you're going to get from here, and every year, because they will come back for you year after year, is from sort of March time all the way through to August. So you've got real good successional flowering going on here. There's 150 bulbs.
I know.
And it's free in your basket.
And they're worth, we've sold those before for £20. So do bear that in mind, you're going to get this free with every single order as well. 130278 now for the Sean Ryan aged look. Tuscany planters.
Jan, thank you so much. Jan's just messaged saying that that I did a good job on QVC.
Oh,
so Jan was watching. Thank you so much.
I was so good, Jan. I missed Bex. I was driving home and I missed you.
Well, first of all, thank you. That was very, very sweet of you. But Sean is on QVC tomorrow, aren't you?
Oh, good. It's tomorrow, yes.
Yes. Sean's going to be on at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning on QVC with You Garden.
Yes,
so
on the main channel.
If this 4 hours isn't enough for you and you want a little bit more Sean Ryan action, you can tune in for a full hour from 10 o'clock tomorrow morning on QVC.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that, actually.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
You should do.
And obviously, completely different selection of products.
Indeed.
Now, also, if you need any compost...
Yeah, we're going that way.
We are. Because, don't forget, if you are a club member, you get 10% off our price. So you'll get 100 litres. It's 2 50-litre bags for just under $22.50. But it's an amazing deal. It's our top-selling product. It's one of our highest rated. Over the years, we've had thousands of views on various websites. And we'll tell you more about it later. But the recipe for this is incredible. And it is the compost we use in the nursery. So
it's a trade secret.
It was.
Well, it was.
Yeah.
It's not anymore. But do think if you want to get your order to over that £40,
yeah, good
free
thinking.
Postage, this is potentially an item that you add into your basket to help you to get over to that £40. Or if you want multiple bags of your free gift, just place an order for the compost on its own, enter that code, you'll get your compost delivered with free postage, because it's postage included already, plus your free gift, and then place a separate order and you'll get another bag of your free gift. It's entirely up to you how you do it. Just work out your basket so that you're getting the best value for whatever you need.
Now, we've got 2 very different types of dahlias coming up next.
Yeah.
We're going to start with the dinner plates.
I think you should go for both, personally, but yeah, let's start with dinner plates.
Well, they're very different. But the dinner plates have got the biggest flowers. Each flower could be up to 8 inches, we say, don't we?
Yeah, these can be absolutely huge diameter that you get on these flowers. Honestly, this is, I mean, I said it about one of the other products, this is spectacular. And the beautiful thing about dahlias is it's not just a short flowering season.
No, no.
I mean, I love peonies, for example, which again is spectacular flowers, but you've got a shorter flowering season on those. With your dahlias, you get repeat flowers. You get so many of them, right the way from June all the way through to those first frosts, normally around September time, but actually, because for many years now we seem to have very mild Octobers.
Yeah, we do.
Dahlias kept flowering, didn't they, last year, right the way through October?
I think mine kept flying up to, I'd say, mid-November, then I had a bit of a frost.
Yeah.
What I love about dahlias is the fact that they are incredibly easy to grow. Each tuber creates a really big plant.
Yeah, you get loads of foliage, don't you? Which I quite like.
And as Bex said, loads of flowers. And I think dahlias really fill that gap as a lot of bedding starts to die down. Dahlias continue to bloom right into the autumn time as well.
So you get summer flowering, but it also transitions you through, doesn't it? Which is it's a really handy one to have.
Now, we had Adam Woolcott with us the other day. Bex was at QVC, and Adam, because we kind of try and cover as many shows as possible. But I learned something about dahlias from him as well.
Go on, what did you learn?
Because I've grown dahlias for years, but I very rarely bring them in as a cut flower.
Okay.
But he actually said, if you bring them in as a cut flower, they have to be open before you bring them in. If you bring them in bud, they will not open.
Oh, really?
And I didn't realise that. Yeah, so
you've got to wait for them to... Yeah. Unlike with a rose that you would cut while it's tightly, closed and it will open.
Yeah.
You have to wait until they're
think about a lot of flowers you buy, you can buy in bud. I mean, you can buy daffodils, for example, with the buds really completely closed and they're still open. No, dahlias won't do that. So if you are...
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
So, Bex, I would say we learn something every time we do a show,
do you know
don't we?
what? I don't think you've ever finished learning when it comes to gardening. You know, there's always something new. There's always something different, isn't there? There's new breeding, new varieties, new weather conditions to deal with. We're always learning.
And do you know what? You can never know everything, can you?
I wish we could.
I mean, I run a garden club, and we had a gentleman who specialises in snowdrops. I mean, I just thought he spent his life
just learning about snowdrops.
Yeah. I mean, he knows bits and pieces of everything else, but yeah. And in fact, I've got a guy that's going to be talking about dahlias. In fact, do you want to come? It's in September.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
A guy called Andy is going to be talking about dahlias, and he grows 150 different varieties.
Wow.
But these are spectacular. So in terms of position, I would say sunny spot.
Yeah, sun, really.
Yeah.
They want as much sun as you can give them. Obviously, a free draining soil, but most plants are going to like that. But very, very simple to grow. Start them off now, and then get them planted out. Big tip when it comes to growing dahlias is to do the pinching out. You know, when you get that branching thing that happens, and then you get a little bit growing in the middle, pinch them out, because then it creates a bushier plant, which then gives you more and more flowers. It's something I learned to my detriment when I first started growing dahlias. I didn't do any pinching out. I didn't get many flowers. The way to get more flowers is do that pinching out.
Now, all the instructions on the front there. So it says height here, they're going to get to up to 34 inches. Planting depth. It says 1 to 2 inches. I normally plant mine a bit deeper.
I go a bit deeper.
Yeah. And you may need to protect from frost. We always err on the side of caution. My mum lived in York and had a dahlia in her front garden that came back every year, and she never protected it. The odd year it came back was a bit small if it had been a really harsh winter, but if you do live in a particularly cold area, you may need to protect them from frost.
Absolutely. Like I said earlier, just get in the habit of mulching, or you can do that process of lifting your tubers and drying them out, and then you can get them to come back next year.
And sometimes when you lift your tubers, a bit falls off, and you might be lucky, and that may form another plant as well.
Yeah, that's always fun.
Yeah. But amazing value. If you double up, you can go for 10 for $14.98.
Yes.
So just here's your, well, here's our basket. So we put the begonias in. We put the dahlias in. Let's put a second one in. So if you're looking at the prices thinking, hang on, they're higher than Shaun and Bex said, it's because we haven't put the special offer code in. So we always have one of these on every one of the shows. It changes every week. But the one today is YGTV0424. Apply the code, and suddenly the begonias crash down to $6.99. The dahlias, we're getting the double up deal now, which is brilliant. And you get the free spring and summer flying buds, and actually the postage has dropped by a couple of pounds as well. Now don't forget, if you get your order to over £40, I mean if you just added some compost to that, for example, watch this, and then postage is free because spent over £40. And then you know there's a little. Were you just going to mention the club bags?
No, but yes, of course. So add that to your basket. It costs you just £5 to join. So in this one order, we've already paid for the cost of our membership, and that membership lasts you for the entire year. And now we're going to start saving 10% off every single plant and accessories order that we place. 5% off some other items that, to be honest with you, we just don't make as much money from those. So it's a 5% discount, but still it's a discount. But if you think about how many times you're going to shop over the next 12 months, and we've saved the money of that cost of that membership in this one order, the savings really do start to rack up. And this is why shopping direct with us is one of the best places to be.
And you've got those £20 worth of vouchers.
Woohoo!
Yes! Oh, that was a bit high, wasn't it? Yes! That you can spend over the next 12 months. We're in a good mood today, aren't we?
We are in a good mood.
Yeah.
Always in the potting shed.
Oh, yeah. And, you know, it's just the fact that we're nearly through January. I don't want to wish my life away.
No, I know. January's a horrible month.
It's not great, is it?
Ugh.
Right.
It's my birthday month as well, which is even
Yes,
worse.
it was Bex's birthday on Friday.
Done. It's over.
Yeah, the big 3-0, it's all over and done with now, Bex.
Another year older.
Yeah.
Never mind. Right, so Dahlia, I was going to say Raspberry Ripple.
I keep calling that.
It's the rose. That's because we've got a Raspberry Ripple rose, isn't
and if you look at it, it's not raspberry. It's more...
burgundy.
It is. Right. We've had a few questions saying their dahlias haven't grown.
Okay.
So, So I think with dahlias, when I've not done well with them, sometimes it's been too wet and they've rotted away.
Yeah.
So do bear that in mind. We've had a really, really wet weather. So sometimes if it's too wet, dahlias can rot away. And sometimes it's just too cold. Depends where you live, but some people do dig them up every year just to protect them. I mean, I've done that sometimes. Sometimes I've left them in. I think when you first get these home, at the moment I would start them off in pots. Would you, Bex?
Definitely. I'm going to start them off indoors. I'm going to start them off in pots, and I'm going to just protect them until we are able to get. I'm having problems with my mic. Sorry if it keeps dropping out. I'm going to change it in a minute. Yeah, and then I'm going to start moving.
I'm moving closer to Bex so she can share my mic.
I will start moving them outdoors
There you go, Bex.
once I am absolutely certain that the frost has passed. I'm definitely going to be doing that pinching out to make sure that I get more flowers, because I did learn that to my detriment a few years ago. I didn't pinch out and I only got a few flowers from it. So just a few things to think about when doing dahlias.
But you should be absolutely fine with ours. I've grown dahlias many, many times. So now and again, I've left them in pots in the winter and they've got too wet, and they've just, when I've thought, well, why haven't they grown back? When I've got in the pot, they've just turned to mush. Or if they've been really, really hit by harsh frosts as well. So just bear that in mind with dahlias. But
they're worth persisting with, honestly. Once you've got the knack of it, though, because of the flowering season, because of how long you get and how many flowers, they are definitely worth having.
Yeah,
and
they are.
This one in particular, look at that starburst, the lovely colour mix that you're getting on there. And for months of colour, I just think it's an incredible.
Yeah. 630314. Now, our next item is an amazing deal with Hostas. And don't move so quickly at home. Right, it's a buy 5, get 5 absolutely free.
It's like a double take, wasn't it?
It was. I was like, oh, what's happening with Hostas? So you get 10 for $9.99. And I'll just talk you through these because Hostas are predominantly grown for their incredible foliage. And there are so many different varieties of Hostas, different foliage, different shaped leaves, different colours. And what I love about Hostas, you do get flowers as well, by the way. Some people love the flowers, some people actually chop the flowers off because they just want to really highlight the foliage. Now, Hostas do really well in shade. They will tolerate sun, but they do really well in shade. So if you've got that difficult spot that isn't easy, that doesn't get a lot of light, Hostas would be a great, great choice. Now, these actually arrive as bare roots. You can plant them right now because they are fully winter hardy. You will get some really good foliage this year. You might get some flowers, but you're probably more likely to get those in year 2 going on, and year 3. Depth, you plant these about 6 to 8 inches to about 30 inches apart. And flowering time is normally kind of late spring, early summer. But when it comes to value, £1 each for our Hostas today is absolutely incredible. And all I'll say with bare roots is, in general, when they arrive, give them a little soak. With roses, I would say soak overnight. With bare roots like Hostas, you might just want to give them a little soak for an hour or so, and then get them planted so they're winter hardy, and you're going to get the most amazing displays. Now, the only thing about Hostas, Bex, we love Hostas. Who else loves Hostas?
Oh, the slugs and the snails. Absolutely adore Hosta. It is like an all-you-can-eat buffet.
It is.
If you didn't have slugs and snails in your garden and you plant Hostas, all of a sudden you will find you have slugs and snails in your garden. But don't worry, we have the solution, and that is our Strolch. And I can, from my own experience, personal testimony, tell you how amazing this stuff is. A few years ago, I planted Hostas out, and they disappeared within a day and a half, 2 days, completely gone. Last year I planted Strolch. I planted them into pots, and I put the Strolch in, and they lasted all season long. There was no holes in the leaves of my Hosta. They were absolutely amazing. Not only though will it keep the slugs and the snails away, and it does that in a beautiful way because it's environmentally friendly. It doesn't harm them. There's no poisons. There's no pellets. They just don't like it. They disappear somewhere else. But you also get a multitude of benefits from using Strolch in your garden.
You really do. So it's a weed suppressant. So if you've got weeds, dig your weeds up, then put Strolch down, and it really stops those weeds growing back. It's great at moisture retention as well. So if you get anything that doesn't want to dry out, and it could be things like if you're going soft fruit, things like raspberry, something like that, put the Strolch around it, and it really helps retain moisture as well. Bex, you've got clay soil, so when the Strolch has kind of done its job after a couple of years, you can actually dig it in your soil, can't you?
Dig it through the soil. It actually then works as a soil, soil improver, so it really helps the texture of the soil. And that's for everybody, by the way, not just somebody with clay soil. But it also neatens up the garden. It looks absolutely beautiful. You get a really nice uniform, exactly like that, a really nice uniform look around the garden. I mean, for a mineralised straw, you would think that it might blow away, but actually it really doesn't. It stays in place. So and of course, did you say it works as an actual mulch?
Yes.
So if you want to just give your plants that duvet, and we've been saying it a couple of times throughout the show, get into the habit of mulching everything. It really is a good habit to get into. So you've got a multi-use product, and I know we've been bringing it to you for a couple of weeks now, this 2 times 9 kilogram bag. We don't often bring that deal. It's normally a 1 bag deal. So now is the time to get hold of this incredible deal with that £16 saving. Just make sure you enter the code. You only need to put 1 in your basket though, right? Because it's a 2 bag deal. So just put 1 in your basket, enter the code, and that will give you the saving. If you want multiple bags, obviously, enter multiples. And
if you want to be part of the show today, because Bex and I love it when you interact with us.
We really do.
And if you have any questions, we'll do our very best to answer them. If we can't, we will consult our head gardener, Peter McDermott, as well. But ygtv@ugarden.com. It's our brand new email as well. Now, Eleanor has been a uGarden customer for years.
Ah, lovely. Well done, Eleanor.
And she's just been saying she loves Strolch, she loves our compost. And she sent us this earlier in the week.
I saw this picture the other day.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yes, I was watching. So, this was when you were on with Adam the other day, wasn't it? Yeah, I did see
so this was
amazing.
Her garden 3 years ago when she moved in. And that, let's be honest, that looks a challenge, doesn't it?
It's a long, straight garden, isn't it?
Yeah. And I mean, the grass is bad. There's not a lot going on in the borders. That's not had any TLC for a long time. But in 3 years, this is a transformation.
Oh, no.
I mean, that is a gorgeous garden, isn't it?
It's so beautiful. Look at that.
And Eleanor, her main email states that what really made the biggest difference was a combination of our compost and Strolch.
Yeah.
I mean, what a garden.
Those two
Gorgeous.
Those two are two amazing ones to invest in. She can grow lupins now, apparently.
Yeah, because I was going to say, lupins.
The slugs and snails.
Yeah, they do get eaten a lot by slugs and snails.
That's
and what
really
is really
beautiful, Emma.
what I found with lupins as well, for some reason the slugs and snails, they love the flowers.
Do they?
So just as they're coming up, it's like, I'll give the leaf a miss today, but I'll go for the flower. Really annoying. So Strolch is a great deterrent. It doesn't kill the slugs and snails, it just stops them eating that particular plant.
Yeah. Well done, Eleanor.
Yeah, lovely garden. Thank you for sharing those lovely photos. Right. So Bex, I know you were talking earlier about one of your favourites. And it's a black calla lily, isn't it?
Yeah, love this. Absolutely adore it. Now, years and years ago, and I am going way back before I really was into gardening or, did anything, tried to grow calla lilies and wasn't very successful. But what I learnt is, they do need a little bit of protection, don't they? That's ultimately all I need to do. So I'm giving them another go this year. They are beautiful. I love the black calla lily. Oh. It is just, I think it's kind of elegant. It's got a bit of mystery to it. I love the shape of them. Do you know it's not actually a lily? Do you know it was misclassed as a lily?
Yes.
In like the 1800s or something or other. It was misclassed as a lily, and then it was reclassified as a Xantadeschia. But that never really caught on. Calla lily stuff.
I'm not surprised. Not easy to say, is it? Xantadeschia. Let's just go with Calla lily.
Oh, it's beautiful. Cantor actually means beauty. It is the Greek word for beauty, and you can see why, can't you? Because it's a proper beauty. They are relatively easy, though, Shaun. You've been growing these for years, and they're relatively easy to grow, aren't they?
I mean, I've got some different varieties.
Look at those.
And I mean, they were just going over, actually, last year. But I bought a tiny pot about 12 years ago, and now I have got 5 pots that size. My mum's got some, and some of my friends have got some of these. So over the years, they've just spread and spread and spread. And I do, in the wintertime, those pots I do protect a little bit. Yeah. So, I mean, they have been frozen before, but I just put extra compost on the top and sometimes a fleece or a little bit of mulch, something like that. You don't necessarily have to, but they can definitely benefit from the extra winter protection.
Totally. And when you're first starting them off, you want to start them off frost-free, like a shallow tray, a bit like with the begonias. With these, you don't water them loads when you're starting them off. Put them somewhere nice and warm. Once the shoots start, then you can take them out of the warm place and just keep them frost-free and plant them out.
And I must admit, I've always found that if I feed them just when the leaves are coming through, I tend to get a lot more blooms.
There you go.
So
I will show you my pictures later because I have these. I have these exact ones, and I'm going to be planting them this year.
Well, we are doing a double-up deal on those as well. So $9.99, postage included, or you can go for 2 for £14.98. Our friend Daniel Tarquin has just joined us as well.
Morning, Dan.
Morning, Dan. Have you noticed Dan? Because he always comments on my dress.
No gilet.
No gilet today, Dan.
Dan's going to be joining us actually on the 11th of February because I think that's one of the days you're going to be at QVC. Oh, no, you're on holiday. He's taking a week off. He's allowed a week off. He's just been working really hard.
With things.
Just a little holiday.
Yeah, because we're going to get really busy in March. We are
going to get really busy. So yes, Dan's going to come and join us. He's done a few shows here, so you'll recognise his face.
I'm amazed he's got rebooked, actually. I'm only joking. But no, Bex and I, we're kind of your familiar faces, and we do most of the shows. But it is nice to sometimes get a few extra people in.
Mix it up, get some new people in. So Dan's coming, Joe's coming, our lovely Hayley's going to be coming back at some point soon as well. So it's going to be really good. So
we've got a few different experts that will be joining us. Yeah. And some very special shows. And sometimes our head gardener, Peter McDermott, presents some shows as well. So, yes, he's been on a couple of shows recently, hasn't he? And don't forget, if you've missed any of the shows, you can always stream them later on YouTube and on our website as well. Now, we're going to move on to
a Leucothoe.
The Leucothoe. Now, I will be honest, we don't think we can keep this price much longer.
Because we're being told off for it.
We have apparently $8.99 on the U Garden show in the 2 litre pot. Amazing value. Do you know what, Bex? I meant to order this the other week. I still haven't.
You better do it quick before they put
I
the price
know. Well, that's what I'm thinking. But I need about 4 of them.
I did say a couple of shows ago, like, we don't need to reduce the price of this.
No.
Because this is just a stunner. It's evergreen. It's beautiful all year round. This is amazing. We often talk about how when a plant is looking its best, that's when you can charge the higher prices for it. So we don't actually really need to discount this. So yes, get it while we've got this amazing price on it. Gorgeous way that this grows. You get the lovely, brighter, reddy colours on the fresh new growth, and it turns these lovely shades of green. I love that you get a mixture of that all on the one plant. Really easy to grow, nice size, only about 75 by 75 centimetres, so 2-3 feet height and spread. So this works beautifully in a pot all by itself, or gorgeously, excuse me, in a mixed border.
No, it is. It's one of those plants that is acid loving, so it does need an acid soil. So if you're planting it in a pot, do use your ericaceous compost. If you're planting it in your beds and borders, again, add a bit of ericaceous in there as well, and obviously you can always give it an ericaceous feed. So it does need acid soil. So if you haven't got acid soil, I would grow it in a pot with ericaceous compost and it would be very, very happy there.
But it's very hardy as well. This is not one, I mean, you know, mulch everything, but this isn't one that needs any protection particularly. It is hardy down to -20, so it's not one that you really need to worry about. And I think it does quite well in warmer temperatures as well. So this is one for beginner gardeners or experienced gardeners that want something that doesn't require loads of attention. You know, this is just a winner. It's beautiful.
I do love the shape of the leaves as well. It's just lovely.
Yeah. It grows really nicely. It's not one that needs loads of pruning and maintaining either. It's dead simple.
Right, thank you to everyone that's ordering today. Lots of orders coming in. See, it's getting warmer, isn't it?
It is.
14 degrees where I live next week. Have you been looking at the weather, Bex?
I have, yeah, always. Yeah, it's really good to keep an eye on the weather, isn't it?
It looks like the first few weeks of February are actually going to be really, really warm. Right, we have got Mimosa coming up next.
Not the drink.
No. It's champagne and orange, isn't it? Is it champagne?
Like that.
Or is it? Oh, I don't know.
I don't even know.
Being teetotal, I've got no idea, Bex. See Bex's face. The thing is, I'm a beer and wine man. I don't really do fancy cocktails.
No, me neither.
But I love this. Now, it's... I think out of all the plants we've ever had on the show, there is nothing that even comes close to this.
I love it.
It's really unique and really special. Should we start talking about the flowers? Because it's not in flower yet.
No, but it's not far away.
It's not. And Mimosa... You see, we sort of say March time, but actually mimosas, sometimes they flower January, February, don't they? Depending on where you live.
Depends on where you live, the location that you've got it in. This one in particular, as you can see, we can see all of these buds up at the top here. There's loads of them. And these are what are going to burst into the most stunning, beautiful, fuzzy balls of sunshine yellow that are just going to be glorious in your garden.
I call them pink pom-poms, and honestly, when you've got a mimosa tree in blossom, in winter, it is absolutely breathtaking. There is nothing quite like it. Even a forsythia is not as stunning.
Yeah, and the fragrance that you get from these as well is glorious. Really strong fragrance that you get from them. It has the Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit. So this is a proven performer in gardens, but it does require just a little bit of protection, okay? Because it is not what we would class as winter hardy. It does require just a little bit of extra protection.
We say hardy to -5. Now, Adam Wilcott, he was on the show on Thursday when Bex was on QVC, and Adam was just really honest. He had, because these are really fast growing in the right place. They can even grow like 3 foot a year, but his had grown into a big tree in about 5 years, and then it was really cold last winter and his garden got down to -11 and he lost the whole top of the tree.
Yeah.
But he cut it back to a short height and then it got loads of regrowth. So it's one of those, it depends where you live, where you plant it, but it is worth giving it a go because it is hard, as we say, it's about -5. If you live in a colder part of the country, I would probably keep it in a pot, then you can give it that extra protection.
Yeah, and do you know what? If you want to plant it out, you can, and you can get a really beautiful big tree out of this, but you can likewise keep it in a pot.
Yeah, and just
obviously, you're just going to restrict the size of it, but you will still get a mass of these beautiful yellow, fragrant pom-pom flowers on there, and that just means that you can give it that extra little protection as and when you need to. Obviously, we don't know where you live, we don't know the conditions of the particular place you're in, so you've got to look at where you're living and work out what protection you need.
We were surprised, we got a message from a lady that actually had one of these growing in Scotland, and we would normally would say definitely not, but somehow...
She got an amazing one.
Yeah, but it needs a sunny spot, so south-facing if you can do it, well-drained, and sheltered. That's the key thing.
I mean, sunny south-facing wall.
Yeah, that'd be
amazing, because then you've got the extra protection from the house. Plus, you've got all that glorious sunshine, and I just think this is so worth having in your garden.
And it is evergreen, and you've got the gorgeous foliage as well.
Filigree, gorgeous fern-like foliage on here. It's so soft.
I'm going to give this. I'm going to go for 2 of them. I've got a border where there's a stone wall, and I'm going to give it a go.
Yeah, definitely.
I really, really am, because I want one.
Well, if I was to get one, it would go in a pot in my garden, and it'd go against, because I've got a sort of southwest-facing garden, so it'd go in a pot and it'd go against the wall.
But I hope you go for it today. Postage is included, $24.99. Now, Adam.
My brother in clay soil.
Yeah. So, I don't know where Adam lives. Do you, Bex?
I don't, actually. Adam, let us know whereabouts in the country you are.
Yeah, but look how well his is growing there.
That's gorgeous.
And does it look great with the dogwood next to it?
Yeah, love that.
Yeah. But
and when that comes into bloom with the yellow against that red dogwood,
yeah.
I mean, that would look amazing.
my friends have got a whole tree, a mimosa tree. It's meters and meters tall. I mean, we say these grow to about 3 meters in the UK, but in the right position,
you can get even bigger, can't you?
Yeah, they really, really can.
I mean, that is a good. So he's got a fence there. That's got to be 6-foot fence, and it's above there. So that's probably a good 7 feet tall, and maybe even 8 feet.
And I don't think he's had it there that long either. So
that's beautiful.
Just really think where you're going to put this. So south-facing, ideally, sheltered. Well-drained soil, because where these grow naturally in Europe, they always are pretty much a well-drained soil. And if you know you don't really have that available to you, think about if you could grow this in a pot.
Totally.
Where it's a bit more sheltered.
We've got pots.
We have.
We've got pots. That'd look great in here.
Yeah, it'd look good in the Tuscany, wouldn't it?
Oh, that'd be amazing in there, and it would live its life in there quite happily, I think. Obviously, you're not going to get a 3-metre tree out of it, but it would look amazing. And, can I just show you? Because it's not just up at the top. There are blooms coming all the way down the length.
There's going to be hundreds, isn't there?
There's going to be so many. And this is a young plant. So just imagine as that matures and grows and establishes, the number of flowers that you'll get on there. It'll cover it.
Yeah.
You won't even be able to, you'll barely be able to see the foliage on there because there's so many flowers that you get. And those invite the pollinators into your garden. It's one of the plants that really does invite pollinators.
God, and it is known as the flying mimosa, or Acacia delbata.
Acacia delbata.
I never use the big long names normally.
That one's an easy one, though, isn't it?
Acacia delbata.
I quite like saying it.
I like the name, yeah. Acacia
delbata.
Or mimosa.
Bless you.
510 235 24.99. It'd be nice to hear from you if you're going for that today.
Yeah, please.
Or actually, if you've got a mimosa, because it's one of those plants that gets a lot of discussion on the group chats.
It is, actually. I've seen a lot on it lately.
Yeah. So if you've got a mimosa, we want to know about it. Where is it? How have you found it?
Yeah.
Where is it done best?
Send us your pictures.
Yeah, that'd be great. And you can email us, don't forget, ygtv@ugarden.com.
Yes, and quick one just to remind you of our amazing begonias, because it is going incredibly popular. We knew it would be. You get the Belgian trailing begonias here, 10 tubers. You've got a huge saving on there. That is crazy, to be honest with you. As long as you enter that code YGTV0424, you will get 10 of those tubers for £6.99. One of the best summer flowering plants that you will have in your garden. Definitely in our top 3 of best sellers at this time of year.
Yeah, and don't forget, with every order today, using our code, you get £20 worth of spring and summer flowering bulbs.
Yes. 5 varieties: tulips, anemones, ixia, allium, spherocephalon, the drumsticks, and the muscari as well. So really good ones.
Yeah, we did sell those for nearly £20. And if you do spend over £40 today, you'll get free postage as well. So the tulips are extra tall ones. There's the anemones. Really dainty little things, anemones, aren't they?
They're lovely.
Yeah, gorgeous.
There's the spherocephalon, the drumsticks, the alliums. Those are the latest flowering ones. So sort of July, August time you get those. Muscari, so they're going to flower probably March, April time. Yeah, and I love those because they multiply. They are fantastic. And then they just disappear. And I've never grown the ixia. Yeah, no, but they're really beautiful, aren't they? Very nice. So that's your free gift, and that's with every separate order. So if you've already placed an order, now you're thinking, oh, hang on, I forgot to get my compost. If you come back and order compost, you'll get another free gift as well. Yeah, and the compost is postage included, so you don't even have to worry about postage cost here. But let's talk about this, because it is actually our best-selling product here at U Garden. And I know Bex is going to talk about the ingredients, but just before she does,
this for many years was just our compost. It was used commercially on the nursery, and it still is, to grow plants, to grow things like our ready-made hanging baskets. In fact, this year alone, we'll be potting up about 150,000 roses. Not Bex and I.
I'd love to have a go, though.
Yeah, we can get involved.
Maybe they'll let us come in and do a day.
But, yeah, but that's just one of the things we'll be planting up in this compost. So it just gives you an idea of how important it is. The fact that we have 11 acres of plants that we send millions of plants out every year, many of which are grown in this compost. It has to be the best that we can find, and it truly, truly is. But the formulation in this is just spot on. It's been perfected for many, many years.
Yeah, and it is a formulation, and it's backed by science, this. What we've got is the perfect combination of the ingredients included in here to give your plants the absolute best home, the best start in life, and then their best continued life in here. So the first thing to point out really is this gorgeous texture. As you can see, it's soft, it's light, it's airy, and as I compact it down, just look at how easily that sort of breaks away.
Wow.
And that's so important. It's really important for root growth and development. If there is space for roots to grow, to move, to spread, then what happens is that you get a really nice strong root structure forming. If you've got the strong root structure, in the simplest terms, you get bigger, better, stronger, healthier plants. And if you've got a strong, healthy plant, you will have more flowers, longer flowering season, bigger bumper crops of fruit, just plants that are going to do what you want them to do. So that's where that texture really comes in. And part of that is made up by these lovely, you can see all the fibres that are running through this compost, and it's really well composted stuff.
I mean, there's no big chunks and lumps and twigs. It's all been composted down to such a premium level, hasn't it?
It really is. And we know, having bought all of that, other compost that you can buy, sometimes you get massive, great big chunks in there, and it's really frustrating. Yeah. This really genuinely is premium quality
sometimes
stuff.
and occasionally we do have to buy other compost. Occasionally we do run out. We try not to now. We've got a bit more organised.
Yeah.
But sometimes I've literally opened up a bag of compost and I've spent several minutes just breaking it up.
Yeah.
Because it's just chunks and lumps.
This is quality every single time you open a bag, and it's consistent quality. Whether you're buying it, once now and then you don't buy it again for another 6 months, you can be assured that you will get excellent quality. Now, another thing I want to point out, as I run my hands through, you'll see these little green balls. There's one.
There you go.
Lovely, right there. And there's loads of them, by the way, all the way through this compost. Those little green balls, that is a slow-release feed, slow-release fertiliser. It releases time, over about 5 or 6 months once you plant things out in here, and that's really important for your plants to get hold of their feed as and when they need it. You are still going to feed your plants, by the way. Of course, once we get into spring and summer, we're going to use our water-based feed, but having that slow release is amazing. We've got more.
You've got 3 different types of peat in here. White and dark peat. Some of those are renewable as well. So you've got a sphagnum moss peat, for example, as well. But what we try and do here at Yew Garden is put the minimum amount of peat in there, obviously because of environmental issues, to give us the best results. So over the years, that peat content has been reduced, it has been changed, but you've still got 3 different types of peat, including the sphagnum moss peat that is renewable as well. Then there's also what we call a pH buffer in there. So most plants like to be in an environment, in soil that is just slightly on the acidic side of neutral. Not everything, I mean, things like the Leucothoe loves acid soil, but most like to be round about neutral, just slightly acidic. So the pH buffer in there creates that perfect pH for most plants. So it really is a true all-round compost. The only things it's not suitable for are the acid-loving plants, like the rhododendrons, the camellias, the... I'm trying to think what else we've had on the show recently. Obviously, Leucothoe as well, azaleas.
Blueberries,
yes.
Yeah.
And
Not many.
No.
Majority of plants are going to work beautifully in here, even houseplants. I've been repotting my houseplants in here because it's got a great texture to it.
I must admit, I've just started doing that because some of mine did look at, because we've been selling quite a few houseplants on the show.
I think we forget about our houseplants sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, they end up sitting in a pot of compost for years on end, and you forget to
and then you look
repot
and think, oh god, that plant doesn't look very good.
Yeah.
So
one final thing in here, though, is the wetting agent.
This is good, isn't it?
Which is amazing, okay? So what this does is, you know when you get your pots or your hanging basket and they've got a bit too dry, and then you water them and all the water just sort of pours out of the side.
It's so annoying.
Actually soak into the compost. What is in here is a wetting agent, which, as our head gardener described, it makes the water sticky. Essentially, it just makes the water go into the compost and evenly distribute through the compost, which is really vitally important for our plants, you know, particularly over those summer months as well. So all of these ingredients backed by science and in the perfect quantities, and which is why it's the trade secret that we have allowed to get out there. It's what we use at the nursery in a business where our job is growing and selling plants.
And if you do want to be a little bit cheeky, if you do a separate order for compost, you'll get another free gift. We don't mind.
Yeah, it's fine. Carry on.
We do the same thing.
Carry on.
One week I got 8 free gifts from you, Garden. I did. I placed 8 orders.
You just have to be clever with the way that you place your orders.
Yeah.
Just play around with the basket and make what works for you. Obviously, over £40 you'll get free postage as long as you enter the code. Under £40 you'll only enter the one. You'll only pay the one postage. But if you want to place multiple orders in order to get multiple free gifts, which is worth £19.98, then that is entirely up to you. Just hearing lots of people are buying houseplants, and we do have some houseplants.
Yeah.
We've got some coming up later on in the show.
Yeah, we've got a little section. What time are we going to do that, Bex? What
I don't know.
About 12:30, 1 o'clock?
Maybe. About 12:30.
Yeah. So we've got some great houseplants on the show as well. But do come and say hello, won't you?
Please.
I'm Shaun Ryan, by the way. This is lovely Bex Edwards. If you want to follow either of us, or both of us, hopefully, on social media, we always post what we're doing, when the shows are on, but also you get to see our gardens and what we're up to as well.
Yes.
So I mostly post on Facebook, Shaun Ryan Presenter and Plant Man, a little bit on Instagram, but still the same, Shaun Ryan Presenter and Plant Man.
Yep.
And Bex, you're slightly better at Instagram than me, aren't you?
I'm trying.
Yes.
So on Instagram, you need to search for Bex Edwards, My Garden, and on Facebook, it's Rebecca Bex Edwards. I can't make it the same. It annoys me. I'm trying to, but anyway. Find us on there. We'll let you know what's going on with the shows, what we're up to.
Yeah.
And when we find the time to get out in our gardens, we'll share what we're doing there as well.
Well, I'm definitely doing. I'm planning on doing the whole day in the garden on Friday. I can't wait, actually.
I need to get myself some seed trays because I want to start.
Have you not got any?
Well, I've got a few.
I've got some spare ones you can have. Do you know, I nearly got you some. It was Bex's birthday on Friday, so I've got a heated mat for a seed, but I've got some spare ones you can have.
Yeah, thank you. I love them.
Yeah. Right. See, gardening's all about sharing, isn't it? Let's remind you.
Sharing and caring.
Of some of the items we've had so far on You Garden TV. So, I bet these are one of the most popular today, aren't they? Yes. By a long way.
Of course they are.
Well, there's $6.99. Only if you use that code, don't forget. So normally they're $14.99. If you don't use the code, you would be paying a lot more than $6.99. And these are, they're just the best. They're my favourite plants to grow in the summer now. And the reason being, they give such a big display with minimum effort. So maybe you're somebody that doesn't do well with hanging baskets, maybe you're always a bit disappointed, then try trailing begonias. So, they do not mind sun or shade. Seriously, they don't mind. If it's really wet, then they still cope. Because, you know, like sometimes petunias in the summertime, if it's wet, they will just literally disintegrate in the rain. These are really, really good in all different types of weather. They need to get frost-free, so start them off, they're tubers right now, start them off inside or in a greenhouse, just keep them frost-free, and then when you know the danger of frost has passed, put them outside and they will flower all summer long. And I like the fact they don't need deadheading. When the flowers go over, they just fall off, basically. They are on offer today. These are Belgian ones, have been beautifully bred, big flowers. and they are only $6.99 for 10 today. I'm not being funny, you could go to a garden centre and get 3 in a bag for that, I'd have thought. 630193 is the item there for those. Then we've got lots of lilies on the shows, but these are the biggest. And I think they're currently the favourites as well. So they're called skyscrapers, and my word, these really do grow tall. So in the first year, they're probably going to grow to about 3 to 4 foot. But in year 2 onwards, they can actually grow as high as 6 foot. And you can get up to 20 flowers or so per stem. So year 1, you won't get as many, you'll still get a great display, but as years progress, you're gonna get more and more flowers. These are gonna look absolutely amazing. They are scented as well. Great, obviously, for the back of a border. You can cut them as well as flowers inside. And we do class them as hardy, but again, if you're in a particularly cold area, then you might want to give them that extra bit of protection as well. 630, 326, and you are saving £26 on those today. So down to £13.95. Now, a brilliant deal on our Glamour Rose collection, because you're actually getting 5 bare root roses for $19.99. Now, when they arrive, they will be very, very tightly wrapped up. Don't be disappointed, because when you unwrap these, spread them out, you'll see the value that you're getting. They'll all have between 3 or 4 stems on them. There are some really well-known roses here. So we're looking at Arthur Bell right now, this gorgeous yellow rose. There's a couple of Queen Elizabeths in there as well, which is incredible. So the pink and the red with the Queen Elizabeth. My favourite is this one. This is the Peace Rose, which is really, really gorgeous, isn't it? And then you do get this stunning, oh, there's the other Queen Elizabeth, by the way, as well. So many of these roses have got accolades, are award-winning. They arrive as a bare root, give them a really good soak. So I would say with bare root roses, soak them overnight. Plant them in pots or beds and borders. These will grow a mixture of height, so some of them are a metre or so. Width-wise, anything between about 60 centimetres and 90. But they will repeat flower year after year after year. Postage is included, by the way, so the value at £4 a rose is absolutely incredible. 530011. And then we've got one of my favourites, Crocosmia. I love these. They look so exotic. And this is the Lucifer, one of the taller Crocosmias. Now, you will get flowers in the first year, because you plant these right now as corms, but year 2, year 3, they will spread and spread. You'll get more and more flowers, you get more foliage. They are really tolerant of most conditions. They don't ask a lot, Crocosmia. They're really, really incredibly robust. Die down during the winter, so all the leaves go brown. I left mine on this year. When it comes to the end of February, I'll sort of like get rid of them, and then you'll see all the new growth coming through. So 10 amazing bulbs there for £9.99, and postage is included. Now we've also got our lavender hit coat. This is often referred to as English lavender. Super fragrant, obviously, really, really beautiful in terms of the fragrance. I think lavender looks good on mass, rather than mixing it up. It likes really just to be with its own kind. So it's often used in formal gardens. On mass, it's used down pathways in country cottage gardens. Totally evergreen, totally winter hardy, amazing flowers in the summer months, and an absolute magnet for bees and for butterflies as well. So great for your pollinators. Soil-wise, it will survive in very poor soil actually, but it does like a sunny spot, and it does like well drained in general. Then one of Bex's favourites, the black calla lily. There are very, very few black flowers in the garden. This is really, really striking, really bold looking. So calla lilies flower kind of late summer. They do die down in the winter. They may need a bit of protection depending on where you live. I always protect mine with a bit of mulch or a bit of fleece. They're great in pots, I think. They look really good in pots. And over the years, you'll just get more and more and more. But they actually, I love the shape of them, don't you? Really, really striking, these. And a double up deal, so it's 3 bulbs for £9.99, or you can double up and go for 2 lots for £14.98. And then we've got some stunning dahlias on the show as well. These are the Blackberry Ripple 3 tubers for £9.99, or you can double up and go for 2 lots for £14.98. But a really striking flower. And then the other dahlia that we've got, by the way, that's the Calla lilies. Don't forget those as well, and lots of you going for those today. But the other dahlias are the dinner plates, and these have got bigger flowers, so the flowers can be up to 8 inches in terms of size. 5 for £9.99, or you can double up and go for 2 for £14.98. And then the Hostas, they are on a buy one get one free today. So if you get 5 bare roots, we will give you an extra 5 absolutely free. And Hostas, they love a shady spot. So those difficult areas are a little bit awkward, your Hostas will thrive there. And there's so many wonderful varieties in here. So different leaves, different colours, some are variegated. Hostas do flower as well. You may get flowers in the first year, but you'll definitely get flowers year 2 and year 3. But to be honest, I'm never that bothered about the flowers. I grow mine pretty much for the foliage. Now the only thing is, we love our Hostas, but slugs do too. So if you want to protect these from your slugs and snails, we have got the perfect deterrent, and it is our Strolch. So this will actually not just protect your plants from slugs and snails, but also they're great weed suppressants. They're fantastic at retaining moisture around plants. They can improve soil structure, and they are brilliant for flowers, shrubs, fruit and veg as well. We are doing a brilliant double up deal on that, so you get a twin pack for £36.97 with postage included, 149. But we also today are getting loads of orders for our premium professional compost. It is our best-selling product on New Garden. We deliver it absolutely free of charge. It is proven, it is tried, it is tested. We say it's great for everything from seeds all the way through to trees. The only things it's not suitable for are your acid-loving plants as well. But we're having a very busy show. Good morning.
Good morning. It is still morning. Good morning.
It is morning. It is morning. You're loving these pots as well. These are one of the newest pots that we've got, and you get both of those in the April planters for £24.98. They just look so nice, these, don't they?
They're beautiful. Ooh. I love the design. So it's the design, isn't it? You've got this gorgeous mottling sort of a leafy effect on the side here, but it's the shape for me. I love the square planters. I think they've got an extra designer element, but it's that beautiful tapered shape down to the bottom.
So do you know what I see in that, Bex?
What?
I see dahlias.
Yeah, do you know, as you were saying that, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like the Dahlia Blackberry Ripple.
In fact,
I'm going
to bring the picture across, Bex.
Just bring the picture. It's absolutely beautiful. And yeah, it's definitely got that Dahlia
I
look
think
to
your dahlias could look amazing in there.
They could, for sure, definitely. It has got that Dahlia kind of feel to it.
It has, hasn't it?
Hang on, we're just showing you something. Bear with us, Stu's
doing some fancy...
Yes, there it is.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely gorgeous. And they're made of plastic as well, and we often talk about being pot snobs, because both Shaun and I used to be pot snobs. We thought that pots had to be ceramic, they had to be beautiful glazed thing, or they had to be terracotta. I used to spend so much money on pots, more on pots than I spent on the plant. But actually, plastic pots have so many benefits. They don't look like plastic pots at all, because modern methods of construction construction and manufacturing means that they look incredible, but it means they're much lighter in weight. They're UV stabilized, they're frost resistant, so you don't have that expanding and contracting thing that you get with the cold and the wet and the warm, which then makes them crack and break, and then they become very expensive drainage that you put into other pots, don't they? These are lightweight and they won't have that problem of cracking and breaking. And if you drop them, again, they're not going to crack and break like your ceramic pots and things will do. So,
I think
don't be a pot snob is the moral of that story.
I think it's one of the, when it comes to gardening, it's one of the biggest changes in the last 5 years, that you can now get great looking plastic pots that don't look like plastic.
And these also have the drainage holes already in the bottom, so there's no getting knives out or drills out or whatever. They are already there. Plus you've got those channels that come around the sides here as well. So if your pot is sort of flush to the ground and you get loads of rain, there are those extra channels at the side where the water can run away.
I love them. I just think they're so high-end looking, really tasteful, and I think would lend themselves to all types of gardens as well. Now, we are getting towards the busiest point of the show. We are. If you want to say hello, you can do that on YouTube, Facebook. You can email us, don't forget, ygtv@ugarden.com. And I'm Shaun, this is the lovely Bex.
Lovely Bex.
Now these are really good value, aren't they?
These are excellent. We're not getting rid of this deal yet because it's been incredibly popular and it is a phenomenal deal.
So good, isn't it?
So good, with a buy one get one free at £4.99. You put one in your basket, enter that code, and we will put the second one into your basket for you. So you're essentially getting 2 hanging baskets that can convert into pots very easily for £2.50 each, and these will last you for years.
Yes, they really will. And Bex has just taken off, so the hangers, as she said, just as Bex said, do come off if you want to use them as pots. But I mean, they're working out £2.50 each. Yeah,
£2.50 each. Now, I think just put these in your basket, even if you haven't got a plan of what you're going to use them for yet. Put them in your basket because they're incredible value.
And actually, your free bulbs, because you are getting with every order today your 150 spring flying bulbs as long as you use the code YGTV0424. So I would put in these.
Oh, you could put
any of them actually, couldn't you?
No, I wouldn't put my drumsticks in. The drumsticks and the tulips, they're going to get to about 90 centimetres height, so I wouldn't put those in. But any of the other 3 happily will live in here, and then they'll come back for you every single year. I think if you're thinking about Mother's Day gifts, wonderful.
When is Mother's Day? I know it's always March, isn't it?
It's always March. I haven't looked. But yeah, if you're thinking about Mother's Day gifts, you could get these.
I bet your young boys would have looked already, Bex. They'd be planning your Mother's Day. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. But plant them up with some bulbs, with some, plants in there, and give those as gifts for Mother's Day. That would be absolutely wonderful to do.
Great
15th of
value,
March,
15th of March.
Yeah. It'll be a Sunday. I'll be here. That's not this year. He's looking again. He's got it wrong.
It's the 16th.
Is it the 16th?
I know the 15th is a Saturday.
Oh, there you go. Must be the 16th.
Yeah. Anyway, it's in March.
I'll be here.
Yes. But great value.
Yeah, really good. And these are anti-twist as well, so if they are blowing around, they just right themselves, which is brilliant. So I think you can use them as hanging baskets if you want to, you can use them as pots if you want to, and you can revert the next year because they'll last you a long time. And they've got a gorgeous display on there as well. Oh, apparently it's the 10th of March.
Ah, very early this year.
10th of March is Mother's Day. It's an early one.
130502 for the Knox hanging baskets in, of course, the bronze there. Right, we also...
In the middle. We're going to talk to you about Cornus, the dogwood.
Yeah, now this is a real winter gem, isn't it?
Total winter gem, absolutely, because this is at its... Well, it's not, okay. I think people buy dogwood and plant dogwood for the winter displays, don't they? Because it's deciduous and it drops its leaves. But then what you get is this gorgeous bright orange and fiery red stems on here. And so that, we saw it in Adam's picture, didn't we, when he showed us his mimosa.
Yeah, it looked great next to it.
That looks fantastic in your borders and things when you get these gorgeous red stems on here. But it does have multi-season feature to it as well, because obviously you do get foliage, you do get flowers, you get loads going on here throughout the years. But this, when it reaches its potential full height, which can be 2.5 metres height and spread, that just looks glorious at this time of year, doesn't it?
And a big cornice there.
Yeah.
In the 19 centimetre pot, only $9.19. You're actually going to get a £15 save in that one. 511360. Big hello to Angela.
Hello, Angela.
Let's put first ordering of the year.
Ah, well done, Angela.
Yeah, so thank you for ordering, Angela.
Thank you very much. And who was it? Philip? No,
Philip's
John.
there, and John as well.
John was asking if he can order tomorrow because he wants to order via the phone line because our phone lines aren't open on a Sunday. But yes, absolutely you can. They just quote our code when they place on the phone, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, so just make sure, John, when you place your order that you have that code, YGTV0424, and you will happily be able to place that order on the phone, obviously as long as everything's still in stock.
Yeah.
We're looking okay at the moment. Begonias have been busy.
And Helen has said she's just come out of hibernation. Back in the garden.
Back in the garden. Yeah, I think you're the same as a lot of people out there, Helen. I know it's tricky to get out in the garden when it's cold and wet and windy, but we're nearly there.
I'm the same because I mean, I've really missed being in the garden. And I'm lucky because I've got a greenhouse. So on a bad day, I go in the greenhouse. But next week is going to be really good.
It's going to be lovely.
Yeah.
We need to find the time to get out.
I mean, I've not checked the weather for the whole country, but I know I live in the middle of the country, and it's forecasting 14 degrees one day.
It's going to be fantastic.
It's great, isn't it, for February?
Can't wait.
I know. So it's going to be a really good week for gardening, getting out of the garden. And in terms of delivery, we do try and dispatch and deliver as soon as we can. I mean, sometimes you get an order through in literally the next day or a couple of days.
I've had a couple of next day deliveries. We don't guarantee that, by the way. We take, what do we say, 5 to 7 working days? But often, and I'm sure plenty of our regulars will be able to say this as well, you know, often it does come much quicker than that.
Yeah, we're having a really busy Sunday, so thank you to each and every one of you. Right, I'm going to move on to this gorgeous Salix, the Kilmarnock Weeping Willow. It's a small standard.
Yeah.
And it's only $14.99 today. And what's lovely, because we've had this in the potting shed this week, it's been a bit warmer. The little catkins are beginning to show, aren't they?
Yeah, you can see those lovely white bits starting to come through, and those are going to turn into the furriest bunny-tailed, just soft, glorious catkins that you get on here. Now, the Kilmarnock is it's probably the most popular as far as the Salix is concerned. It's been around for decades, and this one has been grafted. You can see the union point up here, actually. This is where this has been grafted onto that miniature rootstock. So you know weeping willows, don't you? You've seen them down the side of riverbanks.
Yeah, and they're huge, aren't they?
They're lovely, and they've got this wonderful ethereal quality to them. The way that the foliage just kind of moves in the breeze and stuff. It's beautiful.
As a child, I used to like sitting under them.
Yeah, they're really lovely, aren't they? And I do that. They're ethereal. That's my word for them. They're gorgeous, but we can't grow them in our gardens. We can't grow them in our,
you can if you've got a huge garden, but most of us don't, do we?
No, absolutely, and that's why we have this one, because everybody can grow this one in their garden, no matter the size of your garden. Even if you've got a terrace, a balcony, you can grow this because it's never going to get taller than 1.5 meters, absolute maximum. You get the lovely catkins that are you can see they're ready to burst out and they're long lasting. You can cut these stems as well and use them for indoor displays. And you're going to get more and more of these, obviously, as this grows and matures. Then you get the foliage that happens as well. And it's really, really easy to look after.
Yeah. Now, they do love willow, they love a wet spot. So I used to have one near a water feature male garden. It loved it.
So they don't want anything waterlogged, but they do like water.
Yeah.
Basically.
And mine used to often get splashed by the water feature. Just seemed really happy there. It was in sort of semi-shade.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, to be honest. It can cope with either.
And what will happen, you say, we'll never get much taller, but the head will get bigger and bigger. But I remember mine got to a point where the branches were too long and were hitting the ground, so I just gave it a really good trim.
It's like a haircut, isn't it? Take a pair of shears and just go round and trim it down.
But they're really beautiful. We've got £10 off that today. 510326.
I want that.
Yes.
I've decided I want that.
And then just quickly, some of you have spotted our Cordyline Southern Splendor. Do you remember earlier we showed it in the April pot, and it looked amazing, didn't it?
It does, because you've got that lovely kind of lighter colour with the April pot, and then the reds and the variegation. You've got the deep reds and the burgundies and the lighter pinky edges on here. I mean, it looks gorgeous in our potting shed underneath the lights that we've got here, but just imagine that in the bright sunshine that you'll see. And this looks amazing absolutely all year round. You know, Cordylines are winter hardy. They do fall under our sort of winter hardy badge. Sometimes we're getting past the stage now, but sometimes you just need to tie the foliage up like this if it's particularly frosty or whatever. But other than that, and I didn't do it at all to mine this year, and it seems fine.
I haven't yet.
I haven't so far. So yes, you might just want to do that occasionally, but other than that, ridiculously easy to look after, very low maintenance. And what happens as this grows is it forms a trunk down the bottom. So as the leaves fade, you can sort of cut them away, or if they're really gone, you can just pull them away, and then you get this trunk forming at the bottom here. So it almost forms this beautiful tree with this foliage just sprouting out of the top.
It's such a stunning variety.
I love it. As Cordylines go, and I do love Cordylines for structure, for contrast that you get in your borders. I just think this is probably one of the most beautiful because of the colour and the variegation.
It's almost like luminous, isn't it?
It is.
And £24.99 with free postage as well. The Southern Splendor 680252. Lots of orders coming through today, so thank you so much.
Yeah, really busy today.
It's just because we are at the end of January now, aren't we?
Yeah.
And February's a short month, and before we know it, in fact, in 9 weeks today, the clock's changed, isn't it?
You're counting that down, aren't you? He's counting that down.
Do you know what? I'm not wishing my life away, but when the clocks change, it's a big thing, isn't it?
It is big, particularly this time of year. Yeah. Feels really big.
Can we say thank you to Angela that placed an order? She's been watching us for months, apparently, but she placed her first order today.
Yeah, she just decided to get involved in the chat, hasn't she?
So thank you,
That's really
Angela.
lovely, thank you.
We love it when you chat.
We do.
Right.
Freesias.
Now, I've got to say, out of all the cut flowers, I think Freesias are one of the most beautiful. They're actually my mum's favourite.
Yeah.
But they're expensive, aren't they, as a cut flower?
They are. When you buy them as a cut
are.
flower, you only get a few stems, don't you? You need to buy multiples of them to make any kind of impact.
Yeah.
But we love them because of the mixture of the colours and the fragrance. Oh, my word, the fragrance you get is incredible from a Freesia, isn't it? But this collection, you are getting 50 of the single and 50 of the double. So you are getting double flowers included in here as well. And they are so sweetly scented. They're a summer flowering favourite. Sort of July, August time is when you'll get these flowers. But the special thing to tell you about this collection is that these have been heat treated. The bulbs have been heat treated, and that's important to let you know because that means you will get flowers.
Yeah, because Freesias, they can be a bit tricky to get to flower the first year, but that heat treatment, I think it kind of makes them think that they're back in South Africa. It's like, it's nice and warm and I want a flower this year. What I will say is because that heat treatment doesn't last forever. No. So what you don't want to do is buy them and just leave them stuck in the bag for the next few months. You do want to pot them straight away. But Freesias are a little bit temperamental in terms of they do need to be protected from the frost.
They do, absolutely. So these are ones you get hold of now. You start them off. You can start them off indoors and get them going. But yes, do make sure that you are protecting them from the frost. Otherwise, you're going to struggle.
And the great thing is that heat treatment means that they are destined to flower in the first year.
That's it.
And if you double up, you could get 200 for £14.98. I know Alwyn messaged she planted hers up in a window box.
Very, very nice. Love that. And she's done that just yesterday. So, yeah, that's amazing. Really good time to get those planted. You'll get some wonderful blooms this year.
And remember, if you do want to save extra money, then put 2 in your basket with the code YGTV0424. Now, a lot of you, we are getting lots of new members today as well when it comes to
loads of new people.
Our discount club, which is brilliant. So even if you're placing your first order today, you can become a club member for £5, and that will give you all of these extra benefits. So 10% off every plant and accessory. I mean, a lot of you buying compost today. Yeah. And you're going to save the best part of £2.50 on your compost alone. That's it. And if you're buying 3 lots of compost, you'd save £7.50, for example. You'll also get 5% off every outdoor living and gifts order, £20 worth of U Garden vouchers. You can use those over the next 12 months, one voucher every 3 months. It's like getting £20 cash back, isn't it?
Basically, yeah. And it's just one of the extra benefits of joining the discount club. And I promise you, you will see those discounts add up. It's wonderful placing an order and seeing the savings every single time you place an order over the next 12 months. So we do encourage you. We are all members, aren't we, here?
We certainly are.
Because we have recognised the amount of savings that we can get from being club members too.
Oh, I love that new effect. Do you see that?
It's Stuart playing with his buttons.
Yeah.
He's playing with his buttons.
Like that. Right, what else do we need to tell you?
Oh, when are we on?
Yeah,
that's probably a good one.
Some of you have just found us the first time today, like, when's the next show?
Yeah.
So at the moment, we are live every Wednesday and Thursday, 10 to 1.
That's it. And yeah, every Sunday from 10 until 2 o'clock. And there's a few different ways that you can watch us. Obviously, found us, so you know you're watching us on one platform, but you might not know that there are a few ways you can watch. So, yougarden.com website, you can watch us there. You can watch us on the YouGarden Facebook page.
Yes.
But you can also watch us on YouTube as well. If you search YouGarden on YouTube, you'll find us there, which is great if you've got a smart TV.
Well, I know my mum, she doesn't have a computer, so she can't go on the website. But we showed her where the app is on her TV. And if you watch Netflix and Amazon Prime, things like that, if you go through your apps, most modern TVs have got a YouTube app. And all you do is click onto it and type in YouGarden, and the live show will come up first, but any previous shows that you missed will be there as well.
And you don't have to pay anything to watch it, by the way.
No, go on.
You can subscribe to the channel and you'll get updates on when we're live and things like that, but it's not one you have to pay for.
No. But yeah, if you're watching on a computer right now and you're kind of thinking, we should watch on the telly, just find the YouTube app and we'll be there.
Yeah, just search for YouGarden and
you'll find us. The streaming thing, it's still quite new for many people, but once you do it, it's
just like watching telly. It is. It's just like watching telly.
Yeah, but the great thing is you can go backwards as well.
Yeah, yeah. And you can watch shows, because we upload the shows on there. So if you've missed any shows and you can't watch while we're live, you can watch at any time, which is brilliant.
So and getting great deals, of course, as well.
Of course.
Now, the most unusual, magical plant in the entire show.
I was just about to say hi, but you said plant. Yeah, no,
this is out of this world, though, isn't it?
Out of this world. It looks like it lives at the bottom of the ocean. It does. It's named perfectly because it looks like a starfish. I adore this. I just love the markings, love the colour, love the shape. And do you know what? It's just something a bit weird and wonderful, isn't it? If you want to try something a bit different this year, if you want to get the neighbours talking, if you want people to say, "Oh, what's that?" I think this is the one that you need to add into your basket. It is just a rare beauty. I brought it once back in our previous life, if you knew us from a previous shopping channel where we used to do these shows. I had the honour of bringing this on one show and it sold out within the first hour. I didn't get my hands on it because it was so popular. I have now got some. I will be planting them this year. I cannot wait.
Yeah, I've ordered mine as well.
Yeah. They do need a little bit of protection, so this isn't one that we're saying plant straight outdoors, whack it in the ground, it'll be fine. Please don't do that. It does need protection from frost, but it's well worth getting hold of it now and planting it undercover, frost-free, right now.
I'm genuinely so excited about this one.
I think it's going to be amazing.
I just want to see it in real life. I want to know, is it going to be that three-dimensional? Because the edges are amazing looking on that picture.
Yeah. Now they do naturalise as well, by the way. So, and they will multiply quite quickly. So, get your double up deal. Go for those 6 corms. Put all of those into one pot. I would suggest. I mean, they're going to grow 40 centimetres high, but slender, only about 15 centimetres spread. So, if you got one of our bigger pots and put 6 of them in there, you'll get a lovely display. But then they will multiply, and you can divide them out.
So they'll produce more corms over the years.
Exactly. Just look after them over the winter. You need to, so you can lift them to dry them, or you can leave them in the pot and just move them undercover.
I hope you try that. I'm just really excited.
I hope you try those. I think they're gorgeous.
So don't forget, in the summertime when they're flying, you can send in your pictures and we can compare, can't we?
We'll be doing our pictures.
But YouGarden, our tagline is gardening for everyone, and we do have such a big range of products. So whether you've got a small garden, big garden, whether you're really experienced or a novice, we've got something for everyone. But we do like to bring you some real surprises, things you're not going to just find in your average nursery or garden centre.
Totally.
And that's one of them. And so we had Adam Woolcott with us during the week, and Adam's won many awards at Chelsea. He'd never, ever seen this
Hadn't
one.
he seen them?
No.
Oh,
and you know, when you've got an award-winning Chelsea gardener that goes, never seen that, that's good, isn't it?
Yeah, very good.
Yeah. So, I hope you go for that one today. Either 3 corms for $9.99, or you can double up. They're actually, I will be honest, the corms...
They're tiny, aren't they?
They are small,
Yeah.
We had no idea how big they'd be, but they are small. But
Yeah.
don't
By
be
the
put
way,
off by that.
you might, what's a tuber, what's a corm, what's a bulb? Don't worry about it. It does get quite complicated when you start looking into what they all are. But basically, a corm and a tuber is very similar to a bulb in the way that you look after it and treat it. So just don't even worry about it.
Right, we're going to move on now to our peony collection. And we are doing 3 bare roots for $12.99, but it's buy 3 and get another 3 absolutely free. So you're going to get 6 for £12.99, which is amazing value. They're working out just over £2 per bare root. Now, bare roots, it's a great time to plant them right now. Peonies are fully winter hardy. So now it's going to be good weather, you can get out, you can plant these. All the instructions are on the front. But, and I'm just going to be honest with you, when I've grown peonies, I've done very well with them, but when I've moved them sometimes, they've stopped flowering.
Yeah, they can be a bit fussy, can't they?
But I thought it was because I was moving them.
Yeah.
And then chatting with Adam last week, he said, you've probably just planted them too deep when you move them, and peonies hate being planted too deep. That's when they stop flowering or just produce loads of leaves. So do not plant these too deep.
Basically, I mean, I would just avoid moving them because, obviously they are just a little bit temperamental if you move them. So try and find their forever home for them straight away, which is why buying it as a bare root will be absolutely fantastic. This, because obviously you're going to put it in its home straight away. But this is a peony bare root. It looks ugly, but it's going to turn into a beautiful swan. This is the way round that you're going to plant it. You can see the sprouts here. This is where those lovely stems are going to come from. That one there. And there's another one around the others there. Look, that's another one there. So that is going to just burst into life. Again, treat it as a bare root. So soak it, plant it. That's it. Yeah. Soak it, plant it, watch it grow, feed it during the spring and summer, and you will get some beautiful flowers.
Now, you may well get flowers this year, but in honesty, it's going to be year 2 and year 3 when it really starts to produce far more flowers. And they're lovely, big and blousy. I mean, you can see the size of those next to hand. They are impressive. Peonies are spectacular, aren't they?
They're very spectacular. Yeah. They're big, they're, as you say, blousy. You get loads and loads of petals on there. They've got a nice fragrance to them as well. They shouldn't need too much support, but occasionally, depending on where you plant them, they might need a little bit of extra support. I would try and find somewhere just a bit more sheltered, but full sun is really, really important. Full sun, we're talking a minimum of 6 hours, 8 hours if you can.
But they're worth it. They really are. And it's so nice to get the 3 different colours, to get the red, the crimson and the white as well. And we've got the most phenomenal double-up deal on YGTV today. You're going to get 6 berries. It's
a buy one, get one, not even a double-up. You get one free. So you're going to get 6 of those.
You get 6. £2 and 17 pence each. I worked the maths out myself, you know.
Arithmetic Ryan.
Yeah. Lots of things I'm rubbish at. I'm not very good with languages. Dreadful. But maths.
Maths we can do.
Yeah. Right, now, this next rose is really, really special. It's called Rhapsody in Blue.
Yep.
I think the name's slightly misleading because it's definitely more of a purple, isn't it?
It's definitely more of a purple, but, you know, let's just roll with it. It's a gorgeous colour. And once it opens and you get those yellow stamens in the centre, it's that contrast, isn't it, with those purple petals and that yellow centre. And when they're closed, they have like a dusky kind of appearance to the petals as well, which I just think is really beautiful. I'm a big fan of purple. Love the purples and the blues. Those are my. That's where I'm really in heaven when I see those.
I think there's all. I mean, when we think of purples, we do think of royalty, don't we?
Absolutely, and it is that royal purple, isn't it? Totally.
So again, it arrives as a bare root. Give it a good soak.
Yep.
Overnight. When you plant it, make sure that the union, that knobbly bit between the stems and the roots, goes just beneath the surface level of the soil. If you plant it in pots, use our premium compost. If you plant it in the ground, we always say a few little things that help with bare roots. We always advise sprinkling some mycorrhizal on the roots. So wet the actual rose, the roots will be wet, and then sprinkle some of that on it so it's made contact with the roots. And if you can, pop in some bloodfish and bones, something like that, in the rooting hole, and backfill with some of our premium compost. That's if you're planting them in the ground. But once a rose is established, and just keep it well watered while it's getting established, roses are really tough, resilient things, aren't they?
They are. So tough, so resilient. As I say, a lot of the time when I talk about roses, I avoided them for such a long time because I don't know, they used to have a reputation, didn't they, of them being a little bit tricky and hard work. But actually, I think modern methods of breeding and things like that have, they've knocked out a lot of the diseases and things like that. So they're very disease resistant. They're actually really ridiculously winter hardy. They don't really struggle. You can prune back really hard and they just bounce back. And they're actually really tolerant of the majority of soil types, even really poor soil. Your roses don't seem to mind.
And that is only 16.9. Did this win any awards, Bex?
Yeah, it did. It was Rose of the Year. It was 2003.
Yeah, I thought it,
Yeah, absolutely. So it doesn't matter when, to be honest. If Rose wins Rose of the Year, that is one heck of an accolade.
It really is.
Haven't we had some questions? I heard you saying something. Eileen wants to know when it's the best time to start feeding outdoor shrubs and plants.
I mean, it does depend what it is, but in general, I start in springtime.
Springtime, yeah.
It's not worth doing now for most plants.
No.
But so
most plants are still, I mean, your bulbs and things are starting to come out, but things are still a little bit dormant at the moment. It's once you start seeing active growth. So once you start seeing shoots and things starting, that's when you start feeding.
So, and again, every spring's different. Sometimes we get an early spring, sometimes a late spring. But yeah, when things are coming back into growth, generally speaking, that's when I start feeding. Yeah,
and we are very much recommending our Blooming First, by the way. There's varieties of sizes and things that you can find on the website, and all the instructions here are on the back. So, for example, from March to April, feed your plants once a week whilst watering. From May to September, feed your plants twice a week whilst watering, which is pretty much the general rule that I follow when I am feeding.
And the other thing I'll say is, who was it that was asking that? Eileen, wasn't it? When it comes to things like my summer bedding, especially things like pots and hanging baskets, I don't feed initially because there's obviously lots of goodness in the compost.
Yes, of course.
You don't want to, when it's a young plant, you don't want to overfeed it too quickly because it'll exhaust itself.
Yes.
But yes, that Blooming Fast is a fantastic
really
feed. It really is. If you want the rose, by the way, award-winning, it's the Rhapsody in blue strash purple, just £16.99. Now, we've also got a stunning selection of irises now, and this is the Peacock Mix, 5 bare roots for £9.99. These are spectacular, aren't they?
Beautiful, aren't
wow.
they? Known as the flag iris. They're absolutely gorgeous. They are the embodiment of the fleur-de-lis. Faith, hope and power is what that stands for.
Faith, hope and power.
Faith, hope and power, absolutely.
Sounds like the name of a girl group, doesn't it?
They are gorgeous, aren't they? I just think, I mean, they're unique. You look at an iris, you know it's an iris. Just beautiful flowers on there. These naturalise as well, so these will just multiply for you. Excellent as a cut flower because they've got really nice, strong, upright stems. Winter hardy, so you know what? You can plant these out now. They're not going to be a problem. And you will get flowers. May through to June time normally is when these will flower for you. And nice and tall too, which I think is also what makes them an excellent cut flower because these can reach up to 90 centimetres in height.
And they don't mind a slightly wet spot as well, irises, do they?
No, and they can cope with a bit of shade as well. So part shade, obviously, sunny spot you'll get more blooms, but they will cope with a part shade position as well. But
you often find them near ponds and things and water. So I love those, and what amazing value, again, £9.99. All of our plants, by the way, in general, things like berries, you get full instructions on the front, so things like planting, height and planting width and planting depth, but also every product has got a really good description on our website as well. So I know during the live shows you've probably taken in quite a lot of the information that we bring you, but if you forget anything, then all the information is on our website. And Bex and I, and our head gardener, we're also making little videos on the website. So a lot of products going forward will have little videos to give you full instructions as well. So when you get things home, you think, oh, what do I do? You can click it on our website and see a little video as well.
And those fall under our winter hardy group of plants as well. So anything that we tell you is winter hardy actually has a lifetime guarantee from us. If it fails to thrive, if it dies, you've done everything you're supposed to look after it. We will replace it free of charge. All you have to do is cover any postage costs for us to get that out to you.
True. Bex, can you just quickly remind everyone of the compost?
Compost, absolutely, cool. No problem. Yeah, so compost, we have our amazing 100-litre deal on here, 2 50-litre bags included, and it is postage included. So as long as you enter the code, you'll get the saving and you will get that wonderful bag of spring/summer flowering bulbs included as well. Premium professional trade secret that. Make sure you get hold of this because this will turn you into a better gardener absolutely overnight because it's packed with all these amazing ingredients. You always get amazing consistency when you buy this because it's made from the same ingredient list absolutely every single time. We've got 3 different types of peat in here, the dark and the light peat, some of which is renewable, but we use the minimum amount that we possibly can in order to keep up with those environmental needs, but to still get maximum results from it. We've got a slow release fertilizer, the little green balls that you'll see running throughout there. There's loads of them. That's going to feed your plants, and this is what Shaun was just talking about. There's loads of ingredients in here so that your plants can get hold of that slow release fertilizer as and when they need it for a good 5 months it stays active for. It's light, it's airy, it's beautifully textured, which means that our plants' roots have space to breathe. You know, they need oxygen. But it means that they have space to move, to spread, and that helps to create this really nice, strong root system, which means that if we've got a really strong root system, hopefully what we're going to get is bigger, better, healthier plants. I mean, I don't mean hopefully, I know. But if we're getting changing weather conditions, if we have any pests and diseases that are around, the one with the stronger root system is going to be better able to deal with it than one with a weaker root system. So there is a real science to it. I used to think that any old compost will do. I was so wrong. I was so wrong. We've got lime in here, balancing out that pH, making this an all-round compost for you to use for pretty much everything. We've got a wetting agent in here, which really helps the moisture to get into the compost. We've got, what else have we got? Composted wood fibres really helps with even water distribution as well as retaining that moisture in there as well. Comes to you as 2 50-litre bags, unmarked, because this is a commercial product. This is not something you can get anywhere else. Yeah, the value is in the bag, not on the bag. Like that line, Stu. Well done. That's very good. But they also come to you in a box as well. So if you are multi-ordering, and I imagine a lot of people are going to start doing that now because spring's around the corner. So if you are multi-ordering, they come in boxes so that you can stack them as well. And do remember, it's much easier to have it delivered direct to your door than it is to go to the garden centre and buy it. Did you have your lunch? You went for a wee, didn't you? I had a call of nature. Yeah, apologies. It's all right. I did it while you were doing the little review. So. Oh, did you? Yeah, I did. There you go. But lovely to be with each and every one of you today. Busy show, and lots of you joining us for the first time as well. Right, come and join us over here because... Yes, let's go to that. Leucothoe. Right, well, there's different ways of pronouncing this. So I know Adam came in and said, what does he call it? He calls it Leucothoe. I think it's Leucothoe, but I quite like Leucothoe. I quite like saying that. Do you know what? I don't care. Many plants have got several different pronunciations. Yeah, it depends where you live, doesn't it? It really does. I'm sticking with Leucothoe. What do you call it, people? Burning I like the burning love. Yeah, burning love. You like that? So, but do you know what? Whatever you call this, it is a beautiful plant. It really is. And bear in mind, it's the end of January right now, and many plants at this time of year, they do not look their best. This looks fantastic, and that's a foliage you are going to get in the winter. But you've got beautiful foliage all year round with this one. Absolutely, yeah. So gorgeous new foliage comes through, that lovely red.
It's like a burgundy, rich red, isn't it?
Yeah, it's so pretty, and it sort of fades. I say fades. It changes colour into the olive greens and the lime greens. And
As it matures.
As it matures, yeah, and you get all of those colours on the same plant, which I just think is lovely for the evergreen foliage, that you've got a multitude of colours.
And it never grows too big, so only about 70, 75 centimetres by 75, so ideal for smaller gardens.
So not much,
ideal for pots.
You're not going to need to prune and maintain at all. I don't think this is going to require any.
You do get flowers though as well?
Yeah, you do. You get some lovely sort of spring clusters of bell-shaped white flowers on there.
But the one thing you do need to know with this one, it needs acid soil.
It does.
So this needs to be amongst your camellias, your rhododendrons. If you're growing it in a pot, just get some ericaceous compost. We've got some on our websites. I've got an ericaceous border. I've got a whole border that I've got all acid-loving plants, basically. So and some things will tolerate
great way of doing it.
Yeah, but if you haven't got that, and I know it's not easy to do for everybody, just put it in a pot with your ericaceous compost, which I could never spell until recently, but I learned a little trick. So it's Eric, E-R-I-C, Ace, A-C-E-O-U-S.
That's it.
Ericaceous.
Or just type in Eric in the search bar on the website and it'll come up.
I'm not great.
I'm not
great at spelling. Good at maths, but not great at spelling.
If you don't want to put it in a pot and you don't have an ericaceous border, you can plant it into a regular border. Just dig a bigger hole, mix in the ericaceous compost into that hole, and then plant your Leucothoe in there.
Yeah.
That will do the job nicely. Then over the years, what you might need to do is just, put a bit more ericaceous around it.
Or give it an ericaceous feed.
So, you do have options. You don't have to have it in a pot, or you don't have to have an ericaceous border. You can put it into your regular borders too.
And then just a quick reminder, if you want the black Calla lilies, stunning, striking. I think it's always great to try something different.
I'm doing it.
Yeah, you are?
I'm doing it this year. These are going to be... I'm going to have pots like you. Mine are going to look like yours. I cannot wait. Yours are about 8 years old or something,
12,
aren't they?
I think mine are.
There you go.
But you know what? They do, year on year, you do get more and more flowers, more and more foliage. They do spread. You might want to protect them from really bad frosts.
Yeah. And they last a while, don't they? Like you get good sort of 5-6 weeks out of the flowers, maybe a bit longer.
Well, I'll be honest, with mine, a lot has depended on how hot it is and how dry they get. But yeah, 6 to 8 weeks, I would say. But when the flowers die, I chop the flowers off and then just enjoy the foliage.
Yeah, because they are gorgeous foliage plants, aren't they?
So mine is a different variety, but
they're big. They're beautiful.
And I've got, honestly, I start off with a tiny pot of those, and now I've got 5 huge pots. My mum's got 2 or 3 pots.
Yeah, because they form clumps, don't they? Yeah. So you can divide them and then get more and more from them. They're stunning. So, well done, Shaun.
They're really good.
They're beautiful.
I'm going to give you some of those as well.
Hey.
Yeah. Right, hostas.
We've got a quick question on the Leucothoe.
Oh, okay.
Can you put 2 in a pot together? Sure. Absolutely. Depends on the size of your pot, but yeah, absolutely. So they're going to grow to about 75 by 75, so 2-3 feet. So just bear that in mind.
So what you might want to do is start with the 2 together, and then as you grow, obviously separate them.
Yeah. If you want instant impact, Shaun and I are very much guilty of overplanting and then dividing later, so absolutely.
When we get asked about spacing and planting, it is a difficult one because it does depend whether you want that instant impact or whether you're patient.
We're not patient. No. I didn't join
I
that
overplant,
queue.
I always do.
I did not join the patience queue.
No. So I overplant, put things too close, and then I always end up in a year or two moving it around again.
Yeah, which is fine.
Yeah, it is for most things.
As long as you move it at the right time of year, it's absolutely fine.
But you will get a maximum size of about 75 by 75 centimetres.
It'll take a few years for it to get there, but yeah.
Right, hostas, we just quickly mentioned these.
Oh, I love hostas.
It's 10 for 9.9, it's pound each.
A pound a piece.
Yeah.
And you'll get decent growth this year.
You will.
Right, even though you're buying these as bare roots, and often we say with bare roots, obviously you need to give them a bit of time to establish, and they will get better over the years as they establish, but you will get really good foliage from these this year. They're quite fast growing, aren't they?
They are.
It's amazing how quick they come up.
You may get some flowers. I don't think you get many.
I think the flowers are the icing on the cake.
I do.
Hostas are grown for their foliage, and look at the array of foliage that you'll get from this collection.
And they really, really do well in shade. Yes, they'll be fine in sun, but they're one of the best plants for those difficult, dark, shady areas.
Yeah, they're great.
To add interest.
Great for filling in those shady spots. Great as gap fillers for your borders. Absolutely fantastic as ground cover plants as well, you know, because they spread. That we say a metre high, metre spread. Obviously, we're talking a metre when you add in the spikes of those flowers that come out. But I would say the foliage, you're going to get about 50, 60 centimetres, a couple of feet high from it, but they can spread a good sort of 70, 90 centimetres, 2-3 feet spread. So for filling in the gaps, for creating ground cover, you can't get better than a hosta. You just need to protect them from the slugs and the snails.
And you
really
can grow them very well in pots. I mean, when you see... Well, pots grouped together with different hostas and can look really good, can't they?
Really good. And I put my hostas with my aces, because obviously you get the fine filigree foliage from the aces, but then you get this lush, healthy-looking foliage from the hostas. So I think those two together as a contrast look really good.
But that is all about value. Loads of you going for those today. And that's what a Bex is.
Oh, I love it. Look how good it is. Yeah. Now, it's a relatively small pot I put that in, so I have restricted the size of it. I could have gone for our big Age Look Tuscany pot, and that would have filled that. I believe it really would have done in that first year. So I might move them into bigger pots this year. We'll see.
God. Well, 10. You can choose wherever you want to put those, working out £1 per hosta today. They're fully winter hardy, by the way, so you can get them planted right now.
Yeah, get them out.
We did mention that I don't suffer from slugs in my garden. I think it's because I live in the country and there's lots of birds around.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's probably plenty of hedgehogs where I live. But if you do suffer from slugs, and I did in my last garden, it can be really frustrating. And we need slugs. Your hedgehogs want your slugs in the garden, but you don't want your slugs to eat your prized plants. So what this is, it's an organic product that is a brilliant slug and snail deterrent. It doesn't kill the slugs, but there's something about it that they just don't like. So if it's around a plant, they move towards the Strolch and go, I don't like this, and then just move in the other direction.
Yeah.
So it's a brilliant slug deterrent. It doesn't kill them, it just gets them to move on. In fact, we did have one gentleman email us, and he'd grown 150 hostas in pots. And he said not one bite, seriously, because of the Strolch.
It's amazing, honestly. And I just love the fact that this has got multiple uses.
Yeah, it's an all-round good egg, I call it.
All around, yeah. So keep the slugs and the snails away. Make your garden look neat and tidy. Suppress the weeds that are there. Retain the moisture that are in the ground. Improve the soil quality, because it stays active for up to 2 years, at which point you then just dig it into the soil. It aerates and improves the quality. And, did I say it makes your garden look neat?
No, but you have now.
There you go. Yeah. And it makes your garden look neat and tidy. So we've got so many uses for that. 2 9-kilogram bags. Each one covers 3 square metres. So really decent size coverage that you're getting there. And we don't have that deal available all year round.
And don't forget, if you're going for your Strolch, it's nearly £40. So anything else you add to your basket, if it takes your total order to over £40, you get free delivery on everything, not just the Strolch as well. Right. Dahlias. Dahlias, I think they went out of fashion for a while. It's really weird how plants go in and out of fashion, isn't it?
Yeah, they're back with a vengeance, though, aren't
they? So in the old days, I remember my Uncle Sid growing dahlias, but he grew them in lines with canes and stakes. Now, people tend to just put them in with the beds and borders and have them as part of their displays. But also the varieties now with dahlias, just extraordinary. There's so many brand new varieties that the breeders have worked tirelessly and endlessly on. This is one of our latest. It's called Blackberry Ripple. And look at that flower, Bex. Oh, my word.
Petal upon petal upon petal, just layers of them. Looks like a starburst. Lovely markings on there. You can obviously see why it's been given the name Blackberry Ripple. It is gorgeous. Definitely gives a cottage garden feel. But what I love about dahlias is that they just keep flowering. You get so many of them over the season. Yeah. June time they start, and they just keep going right the way through to the frosts.
And they do grow big as well.
Big, yeah. You get really lovely big blooms from them that you can then use as cut flowers to bring indoors. And actually, it's really good to do that because, you know, the more you cut the flowers, the more flowers you will get. It encourages more to come through. They do need some protection. I'm not suggesting you go and plant these outdoors now. They do need protection from frost. So what we are suggesting is get them, start them off, keep them under cover, get them going, and then plant them out once all chance of frost has passed. And you will have months of colour, months of flowers that you can fill your gardens and fill your vases with.
And couple of tips. If you cut them off as flowers, they need to be open because they will. You know, a lot of flowers you cut them in bud and then they'll open inside. Dahlias won't do that. Also, when you're deadheading, sometimes the buds look very similar. The buds that have gone all over compared to new buds can be very similar, but the old ones are a bit more pointy.
Yes.
And the new ones are more roundy.
Yes.
But I've done that before. I've been like deadheading and going, hang on, I've just cut off one.
That was a new
one. But the old ones are just slightly more pointy.
Yeah.
But they can look very similar. But honestly, amazing value on those. And you can get 6 tubers. I mean, each one will get to about, what, 90 centimetres?
Yeah, they can get about 90 centimetres in height. You get loads of foliage on the bottom as well, which I think is lovely.
Yeah. I'm going to do more dahlias this year, I think.
Yeah, do you know what? I had a few dahlias in pots last year, but I'm thinking I might just get them started and, dot them around the borders.
I'm not going to send them half, but I'm thinking of digging up a bit more lawn. I know you are too.
Totally going to do that.
Extending those borders.
I'm going to extend the borders.
But dahlias they just give you big displays. And they're great for late summer when other things are dying back a bit.
Yeah, they're a great transition because they keep flowering until the frost. So I remember driving around late October and seeing dahlias just in bloom because they just keep going. So it really transitions those seasons.
Sure. Right, we coming to say thank you to everyone that's ordering. Welcome to You Garden TV.
Hello.
You with myself, Shaun, the lovely Bex, Stu. You don't get to see Stu, but he's over there in his studio.
Literally just through that wall.
Yeah, but he's the really bright, intelligent one, isn't he?
Yes.
He does all the technical things.
He does. He does 6 jobs at once, doesn't he?
I come I'm like, how do I put my batteries in my microphone, Stu? And Stu's in charge of. He does all the graphics. He does all the cameras.
Tells us what we're doing, where we're going.
Does all the live streams, replies to your chats, and passes it. So. And we have got some emails that have just come that we will read out in a second. But this is all about you being part of our community. We are broadcasting right from the nursery. And Bex and I, we worked in TV for many years and had a great time. But being here in the nursery...
This was our favourite subject, wasn't it?
Yeah. And it's so real, don't you think?
So real, love it.
We literally come to work and we're surrounded by plants and people that love plants. And having you watch is just, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
Right. What else?
Dinner plates.
Have we got more dahlias, but big dinner plate ones?
I'll stop playing with the compost. We got our beautiful big dahlia dinner plates here. So if you like the Blackberry Ripple, give the dinner plates a go as well because you will get spectacular flowers from here. We are talking 8-inch diameter on the flowers. This is why these are called the dinner plates. They are massive, absolutely gorgeous colour mix that we've got going on in here. Pinch them out once they're growing. That'll give you more flowers, and that's just a little tip to get more and more flowers from here. But June time all the way through, as we say, to the first frost, you will get flower upon flower upon flower.
And do you know what? I love this colour mix.
It's gorgeous,
bold,
isn't it?
It's bright, it's cheery. Now, amazing value. 5 tubers for $9.99 or 10 for $14.98. That works out less than £1.50 per dahlia.
Yeah.
And again, the thing is, you can go to a garden centre in summer, buy a dahlia in a big pot with buds and flowers on. You could easily spend £15, I'd have thought.
Yeah,
for
and do you know
one
what?
dahlia.
I know that we do them here. You know, I'm sure later on in the year we will be bringing those, and it's fine. If you want to buy those, that's absolutely fine. But they're very, very easy to get started, and this is where the true value comes in, isn't it? True value for money.
And do you know what? Sometimes I do that. I'll have a gap. I'll have a barbecue coming up, and I think I just need something nice, and I will.
Put that there.
I'll just buy something, and it's instant. But I get far more pleasure growing things from tubers and bare roots and seeing them thrive and knowing you've spent a few pounds.
Absolutely.
But they're the ones with the big flowers up to 8 inches per head.
Yeah.
And they are $6.30, $3.19.
Always very popular, those.
Yes.
Very, very popular.
quick reminder, you need to use that code YGTV0424. That unlocks all the promotions. You get your free gift, which is 150 spring bulbs. And now the tulips, these are the taller ones, aren't they? About 90...
About 90 centimetres
they're
in
really
height.
tall,
yeah,
really?
they're really tall.
God.
Nice, strong stems that you get on there. There's the drumsticks, the alliums, they're later flowering. Those are the latest flowering of the collection. Muscari, absolutely love the grape hyacinths. They just spread, they look beautiful. We've got the Ixia included in there as well. There's just so many included. And please, it's not just a spring flowering collection, it is a spring/summer. March time all the way through to August is what you're going to be getting with this. And they will all naturalise, they will all come back for you year on year as well.
And they are worth, we did sell those for nearly £20. They will be free as long as you use that code today. There's that gorgeous Muscari as well. But we've got houseplants coming up. Lots of you have been asking about the houseplants. Here we've got an amazing selection of houseplants on our website. We're going to highlight some of those. And we have still got lots of extra products that we are going to share with you. But let's remind you, right, the best seller, the most popular product today has been our Belgian trailing Giant Begonias. These are amazing value. So you're going to get 10 tubers for £6.99. Now, each tuber will produce a really big trailing begonia this year. Bear that in mind. Begonias are superb in terms of not minding shade, sun, a wet summer. They're really resilient when it rains as well, unlike things like petunias that can literally turn to mush. They are very low maintenance. I do feed mine, so once they get established, I do regularly feed mine in the summer with Blooming Fast. Now, if you plant them now, you're going to get a head start. You just need to keep them frost-free. What I tend to do is I tend to plant them in seed trays, believe it or not, and just a little bit of compost, just a slight covering. And then once the shoots start to come through, that's when I'll pot them on into baskets and things like that. But you just need to keep them frost-free at the moment. 630, 193, masses if you're going for those. And you only get that price by using the code. So do bear that in mind. But amazing value and masses of you going for those today. Just hope we've got enough stock because they are going really quickly. Then, something truly magnificent. And I'm really excited that so many of you have gone for this. Now, it's all about finding the right place for mimosa. It's a plant that we see, it's a tree that we will see in Europe. I've seen them in New Zealand actually. But in the UK, in the winter, we say March, but they can even start flying in January, February time. You get hundreds of these incredible yellow pom-poms that are fragrant as well. And the foliage is almost like fern-like. So in mimosa is all about in the UK getting the right spot, because we set it hard, it's about -5. So south-facing, sheltered, well-drained soil, that would be ideal. So if you had like a wall, a fence that was south-facing, sheltered, perfect. If you haven't got that, maybe grow this in a pot where you can actually help it get a bit of protection. You can move the pot to a warmer area if it's going to be particularly cold. Now, in their native environment, they can grow into huge trees. In the UK, probably grow a little bit smaller, but not necessarily. I've got a friend that's got one of these in their garden, and it really is the most magnificent tree. But honestly, they are really worth giving a go. Because when these establish, and they can be really quick growing, again, in the right spot, these can grow 3 foot in a year. So I would love you to go for one of these today. We've got a price of £24.99, postage is included, 510 235, but it's just, out of all the plants that I've seen at Yew Garden, there's nothing that comes close to that mimosa. Right, loads of you gone for that, well done at home. Then also we've got Freesias, brilliant value, 50 single, 50 double for £9.99, or you can double up and get 200 for £14.98, and that will give you enough to have some amazing cut flowers as well. Ours have all been heat treated, and that really helps their ability to flower in the first year. Again, we do advise keeping those frost free. Get them started now and then pop them outside as and when the frosts disappear. Now, we've got lots of lilies on the show, but the biggest are the skyscraper lilies. These grow up to 6 foot. First year, you're probably going to get 4 foot, might get taller, but year 2, year 3, you'll get lilies that can be up to 6 foot in height and can bear 20 flowers or maybe even more. We class them as fully winter hardy, but again, if you live in a particularly cold area, you might want to just give them a little bit of mulching and protection. But in terms of value, those bulbs are working at about 57 pence each. And they create the most amazing displays, gorgeous fragrance on those as well. 630-326 for our incredible skyscraper lilies with a saving of £26 today. Right, weird, wonderful, unusual, beautiful, it is the Starfish Iris. We've only ever had these once previously. We just got them there here at Yew Garden in the last week. So again, these will need a little bit of protection, so protect them from the frost. They like a sunny spot. They'll grow to about 40 centimetres in terms of height, and they are corms, so again, they will produce more corms over the years, which means more plants, more flowers, and I just cannot wait to see these flower. I've actually gone for these because I'm just fascinated by this image and I want to see them in real life. So we are doing a double up deal, so it's 3 for £9.99, but for an extra £3, you can get 6 corms there. So amazing value when you double up. Now, we've got a steal of a deal on our Knox hanging basket. These are really good. They are actually down to £4.99, but it's a buy one, get one free. So put one in your basket, use our code, and we will give you another absolutely free of charge. 135.02 for 2 of those. And the clips are anti-twist, but they'll also come off as well. So if you want to use them as pots, you can do that as well. Then these are also at an amazing price there. They're one of the largest pots that we do. So they're nearly 30 litres, 46 centimetres in diameter. They've got a lovely aged kind of Tuscany look to them, and they are working out less than £6 each. So they're big enough for, I would say, everything in the show. Even your mimosa would grow very happily in there, as long as you keep it well, obviously watered and fed. So one of the real highlights, obviously these offers are not going to be around forever, so if you want to go for the buy one get one free, 132.78. And then the Calla lilies are the black ones today. God, they look so striking, don't they? A really unusual colour for those. And they will flower sort of late summertime. Again, you may want to protect those from the frost, but they are going to produce the most stunning shaped flowers that are almost black. There's just like a little hint of kind of rich burgundy in there as well. 630-223. And then last but by no means least, we also saw our lavender hitcock. Now, so this is English lavender. Loves a sunny spot, loves well-drained soil, but it will tolerate poor soils. And I always think lavender does look good on mass. So great at either side of a pathway, great in a formal garden. And these are evergreen, so they look great in the wintertime, but in the summer, kind of June time onwards, you get this amazing massive lavender flowers, which the bees and butterflies go absolutely crazy for, and the fragrance is just divine. I mean, I've got a whole board of lavender, Bex does too, and it's such a winner. And it comes back year after year. And you got a triple deal on that, 3 for £8.99. Really quite fast growing as well. Those, those plants, and they start off here, that kind of size. Within a couple of years, they're like this, aren't they? Big clumps.
Doesn't take long at all. No. You get some amazing displays for so many years as well. Really, really reliable plant and drought tolerant as well.
Yeah. Now I've got a question. You're doing a promotion here, Bex. Sorry. Not a question, a feeling rather.
Yeah, I'm definitely doing a promotion.
Yes, we're doing a promotion. So this is really good. I know a lot of you are buying compost today.
Yeah.
Which is £24.98. If you manage to get other items in your basket and get the order to over £40, we'll deliver everything for free, won't we? Which is
Absolutely.
great.
And if you think the size and weight of the compost, or, you know, maybe it's the Mimosa, which is obviously going to come in a bigger bag, or the Strolch, or maybe it's the Cordyline, you know, the bigger items, the pots, for example, you can get all of that delivered direct to your door, absolutely free of charge, as long as your order is over that £40 and as long as you enter that code right there, YGTV0424. That's what unlocks all of the deals, all of the offers, the buy one, get one free, the double up deal and the free postage. If you can't get it to over £40, we've still got an offer for you. You'll only pay one postage charge, no matter what you've got in your basket.
Which is really good as well.
Which is excellent.
Because you might think, oh, I'd love to spend £40, but I can't.
I know, January's a hard month, isn't it? Hopefully everyone's had payday.
Yes.
So fingers crossed we're all good. But also you will get your free item, your free gift with purchase as long as you enter that code. 150 spring and summer flowering bulbs, 5 different varieties, and it's free gift. We've sold this before and we will be selling it again for nearly £20, but you can get that absolutely free with your purchase.
And even if you've already placed an order this morning, and now you're thinking, oh, hang on, I need some compost. Oh, actually, I'm going to get that Mimosa now. If you are buying something in a separate order, you will get another free gift. So that comes with every separate order. So don't worry, if you're placing 2 or 3 orders separately, you will get 2
Play with your basket. See what works.
Yeah. But thank you to everyone that's ordering, and thank you to everyone that's on the group chat.
Yes, Amanda, I believe. Amanda's saying she's going to buy some Calla lilies. Well done. Her mum's going to send her some and she's going to plant them together.
Right.
Love that idea, particularly the black with another colour. That's lovely. Oh, someone's saying happy birthday. Thank you, Simon.
It was Bex's birthday on Friday, wasn't it?
It was my birthday on Friday. What size pot do we put the starfish in? Okay,
I'd say
good
small,
question. Yeah, it needs to be a small one. If you're going for the double up deal... What are you saying to me? Torino. Oh, yeah, those are probably a good one.
Because they only grow, the starfish lily only goes to about 40 centimetres.
40 centimetres high, and we're saying 50, they're slender. They get some little strappy leaves on them. So you could put 3 corms in here. I think that would be perfect.
Yeah, I would for the first year, definitely.
So if you're doubling up, you could go for 2 of these, £3.99 each. And if you're doubling up on your... Is it a double deal? Am I...
Well, yes, it is.
I'm talking nonsense.
Yeah,
Starfish is a double deal. We are.
So,
sorry,
if you go for
just had
6, you'd have 3 in each pot, wouldn't you?
Exactly. So, yeah, 3 in each of these. If you want one pot to put all 6 in, I'm going to go April. What do you reckon? Might look a bit empty. 1, 2.
Yeah, I think you'd be all right.
No, I think that'll be fine.
Because it goes about 40 centimetres.
Absolutely. So you'll get a pair of these. One you can use for your 6 starfish, and then the other one, which comes in the deal, do something else with that one.
Yeah. But we haven't grown those yet. We're going to grow them ourselves.
No, going to grow them this year. Just based on the information, if you think
40 centimetres
high,
but they're quite slender, aren't they?
Yeah, but you get some nice foliage at the bottom. I think that'll be fine.
Yeah.
But they'll multiply as well. They multiply nice and quickly. So hopefully then you'll get free plants and you'll be able to plant them out elsewhere. Torino's are good though.
Any of the questions do come through as well. So coming up, we have got a little section on houseplants.
Oh yes. I'm going to change that around.
And actually, there's still quite a few things we haven't seen as well, isn't there?
Yeah, I know. We've only got an hour and 25.
Yeah, so we've got
yeah, only an hour and 25.
A potato kit coming up. We've got agapanthus as well. We've got some poppies coming up.
Gladioli, buy one get one on your gladioli. That's coming.
Astilbes, we got loads.
Yeah,
but
better get cracking, haven't we?
One of our well, not one of our best-selling product is our premium compost, and from time to time, our wonderful head gardener Peter joins us on the show. I mean, he's a really busy man. He's a head gardener here. But he does join us on select shows. And he was with us recently talking about the compost that he loves, that he uses on the nursery. Whenever we grow things, whenever we plant things up, this is a compost that he uses, him and his team. So here's Peter and myself, actually, to tell you a little bit more about our best-selling compost.
We describe this as premium professional compost. And the reason for that is it is the compost that is known, this formula we have perfected over decades. So I've been using it for decades. We have perfected it over decades. You've got a blend of the best peats, plus wood fibre that you can imagine. Now, by volume, approximately 50% of this compost is wood fibre, and the balance is made up of a blend of peats, and there are 3 different peats. So you've got things like sphagnum moss peat, which is renewable. You've got sedge peat, and then you've got darker sphagnum as well in there. So you've got 3 different peats. You've also got, you can see actually just there, there's slow release fertiliser. These little green, what look like little eggs, you'll see those dotted among the compost when you're planting it. That's slow release fertiliser. One of the most expensive ingredients in any compost is fertiliser. You can see that there's another one just down below. That is amazing because that will deploy nutrients to the roots of whatever you grow in this compost just when they need it over the next 6 months. You then got what's called a buffer. Now, peat in particular is naturally acidic. And plants like to be just on the acidic side of neutral as a generality. There are exceptions, so things like rhododendrons and azaleas, they love to be properly acidic in terms of the ericaceous soil or compost they're growing in. But most things like it just on the slightly acidic edge of neutral. So that's what this is designed to give you. So it's got a pH buffer to keep it in exactly that zone. The wood fibre keeps the sort of perfect air-water porosity ratio, which is what we talk about in the trade, all these complicated terms. But it's, what plants need is they need a jungle gym to grow in. So they need a jungle gym for their roots, which is called growing medium. They need some water, and they need some air, and they need nutrients. And when you've got the perfect compost, it blends the air and the water and the constituents of the compost. It all blends together to give the perfect environment. That's what this particular compost does, which is why it's trusted by us. We will be growing approximately 150,000 potted roses on this nursery this year. That's roughly what we grow most years. We'll be growing, I don't know how many hanging baskets, but our pre-planted hanging baskets that will be available later, you will have bought them in the autumn and last spring as well. They grow in this compost. We will grow countless perennials, whether they be in the 9 centimetre square pots or the 3 litre pots or the 5 litre pots, plus fruit trees. And this is the compost we use for all of those things. So we trust it, the trade trusts it, and actually based upon the well, literally hundreds and hundreds of thousands of bags of this particular compost that you've bought over the years, you definitely trust it as well. And, you know, and actually, peat is a thing. We need to think about peat. Not me. I happen to also be peat, but it's the peat that's in here that we're talking about. We can still use peat in our gardens right now, and actually the alternatives, generally speaking, are a bit iffy. So if you want to get the best results, in my view, use this particular compost for as long as you can. It's got 50% other material in it, which is the lowest level we could get to and still have a professional quality product for you and for ourselves. So we've been as eco-friendly as we can, and we jumped onto that particular that approach years and years and years ago. So this is the same formulation that we've had for at least the last 6 or 7 years, with 50% other material to bulk out the peat, and it still works better. So I would say this is, in my opinion, it's the only compost I use at home. It's the compost we use on the nursery. I can't recommend it highly enough.
Yeah. That's the boss. That's the head gardener.
The boss.
But you know,
morning, boss,
the passion that he talks about. Yeah, morning, boss. I don't know you call him boss, do you?
No, that felt a bit weird.
Yeah.
Chief, that's a
head
good
gardener.
word. Head gardener.
But yeah, the passion that he speaks about. So we would love, I know we get lots of new viewers today and our regulars.
We have got loads.
Yeah.
Thank you for finding us.
We'd love you to try out our best-selling compost.
Please do.
And I would become a club member today, because for £5 for the year, you'll get £2.50 off, nearly £2.50, it's like £2.48 or something, every single time you buy the compost.
Yeah.
So you only have to buy 2 lots of compost this year, and you've already got your club membership fee back. Yeah,
and you've got 12 months worth of savings on that club membership. So imagine how much you will save over the full year.
Yeah, and you get £20 worth of vouchers and things. So we hope you go for our premium professional compost. Now, we did promise you
some houseplants.
Some houseplants.
Some of the brilliant ones as well.
Oh, got a lovely selection.
Right, so I actually want most of them. Actually, I do want all of these.
They're so lovely. So
I don't have all, yeah.
I've got the ficus. I have got.
Haven't you got the trailing jade?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, I thought that was the other one.
I've got I haven't got I call this Devil's Ivy. I haven't got one of those
Queen.
now, but I could really do one of those.
Yeah.
But anyway, we've got a big selection
on the website. Yeah. There's plenty on there. We've got a big Areca palm as well. There's loads on there. So this is just a small selection of what is available. So go and have a little look. You'll be able to find some that you really like on there.
But I always, because I've got a lot of houseplants. I know you have Bex.
Yeah.
But they make such a big difference to the look and feel of a home, don't they?
They really do. I think, that bringing the outdoors indoors is amazing. But they do have lots of benefits as well, because they're all really good, or majority, some are better than others, at actually purifying the air in your home, which is a fantastic thing, isn't it?
And I think plants really make a home a home.
I do.
They can really change the look and feel of a particular room. So lots of houseplants on the website. The ones we're going to focus on today are the ones in front of us. And this is I call it a Swiss cheese plant.
Yeah, it's the Monstera monkey leaf.
Hang on. No, that's not right, the $7.99. I actually don't think that's right.
Oh, sorry.
I wasn't joking.
You just said in our ear, yes, it's right, it's got brought
I
down.
was not joking. I wasn't doing, it's not the right price. Because we've sold it at higher.
Yeah, it was $9.99. Oh, no, it is $9.99. Hold on.
I thought it was
Hold
wrong.
on.
So, but it's not $12.99?
No, they're not $12.99. They are $9.99.
That's really good. Well, no, that's really good.
No, that's still really good. An amazing price, because this is, it's not a baby plant. This one is already, partly established. And I love the Monstera monkey leaf. I mean, I love Monstera deliciosa. We've got one of those coming up.
Yeah, that's your traditional Swiss cheese plant,
exactly.
isn't
But the monkey leaf is the, smaller cousin, basically. So Monstera normally gets really big, or it can get really big. This one stays nice and compact. So we are only talking maybe a metre in height, absolute maximum growth, spreading by about 50 centimetres. But also the wonderful thing about the monkey leaf is that it has the typical fenestrations. Thanks.
Yes.
On the leaves, and these actually happen on the younger plants.
So
whereas with your other Monstera, that doesn't happen until they mature.
No. Whereas these, even in mature leaves, the new leaves, you've got these gorgeous perforations, or what do you call them?
Fenestration.
Fenestration.
Yeah, apparently that's the name.
Now, I don't know what you found, Bex, when you researched this, but there's different schools of thought why it actually has the holes.
Well, there's a couple of things. So one is because it allows water to get through,
which
because
sort
obviously
of makes
you get
sense.
nice big leaves on there, so it really allows water to get through to the base of the plant. But the other one is to do with wind.
Yeah.
Not wind.
No. But also, actually, there's some of the theories saying about sun as well, because some of it changes where the sun gets through the leaves as well. But anyway, nobody knows for sure.
I love it.
But they look great.
They look absolutely brilliant. And then so it's the Monstera deliciosa, the big one. It's relatively simple to look after. A few little things you need to do to it, but this one is even less demanding, basically. Than that
and it's
one.
never going to go too big, and it's always going to look attractive. Likes bright light, but not direct sunlight.
Yeah. So basically with your houseplants, and I think it's the general rule for the majority of houseplants, they want bright but indirect sunlight. Some are going to prefer a northeast window, some are going to prefer a southwest window. But what you want to avoid is southwest facing, bright, direct sunlight on these. There are ways that you can still get that lovely light on there, just, a metre or two away from the window. You can also get these light diffusers that you can put over the windows in order to have that light coming in, but just diffuses it slightly.
But to be honest, I'm sure you can find a room in your house that's bright, but not direct sunlight. So you can either have these trailing, or it is what we call a lazy climber. So you could actually give it some support and get it to trail upwards. But I think they look great as a trailer, don't you?
I love it as a trailing one, actually. And on a bookshelf or, a shelf up high, it will just gently trail over the edge there. You get some sort of upright growth and then some more longer trailing bits that come down. So that one would work perfectly in, If you don't have the space for a big Monstera, this is the one to go for, isn't it? This is the one to put in your home.
Water-wise, just give it water when the compost feels a bit dry.
Yeah, light watering is what we call this one. So just feel, is it dry to the touch? Is the top centimetre or two dry to the touch? This one isn't.
No, that doesn't need
If it
water.
was, we'd give it a water. But this one I can feel it's moist right on the top there. So that one's absolutely fine for the time being.
Yeah, so it's down to $9.99, the LIP $12.99. Part of the Swiss cheese plant family, but it's the smaller variety that has the perforations or the Fenestrations.
That
That's a new word for me. Fenestrations, even on the immature leaves.
This one needs to come home with me.
It's gorgeous, isn't it?
I love it.
Really healthy.
I want it.
Right, the next plant that we've got now, this is one that I have got.
The ficus.
Yes, the Ficus benjanina, kinky jute. This one is known as.
I love that name.
So I've got a couple of these, Bex, and mine were very similar. They were wrapped in the Hessian.
Yeah.
But as it's got taller, the whole top is kind of on stems now.
Yeah, and it sort of weeps slightly, doesn't it? So you get a lovely sort of weeping effect that happens as it grows a bit taller. Yes. Obviously, there's loads. So what's happening under here is there's lots of little stems underneath, and that is sort of holding it together to give it this lovely
like a
tree
mini
shape.
tree, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it will grow and it'll get a bit stronger, and then you get this lovely sort of weeping effect going on with the foliage
really
over the top
pretty.
There. It is. I really like this one.
And what I do regret, my ficus. I'd say I regret, but mine are just solid colour, and this variegation is lovely.
Oh yeah, you've got a bit of variegation going on this one, which is really lovely. It does actually have the Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit, so this one is when it comes to houseplants, I mean, majority are quite easy if you find the right place for them, but this is definitely an easier one when it comes to your houseplants. Bright but indirect light, keep it away from radiators and drafts. Again, I think that's universal to most houseplants.
But this one does particularly hate drafts.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also, again, light watering, so dry to the touch. And do you know what I'm going to recommend? Again, for all your houseplants, tepid water. Just don't get freezing cold water out of the tap, because the majority of the houseplants that we have, they are tropical plants.
Yeah,
they come
used to
from
like nice
warm climates.
Warm rain, aren't they?
Warm rain is what they're used to. It makes sense when you think about it, doesn't it? So just tepid water. And I'm basically treating all my houseplants exactly the same now as far as watering, and that is I'm using rainwater and I'm allowing it to stand in the house so that it gets to a nice tepid temperature, and that's what I use. That's really easy for me to do. I don't have a water butt. I will get one at some point, but what I've got is big buckets outside, so I just go and get the water from the buckets.
Very easy to grow. As Beck said, just keep away from drafts. If it ever starts to lose its leaves, the chances are it's been in a draft or it's been underwatered.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, I've got a few of these, and one of mine the other day, I had not watered it for quite a few weeks, and it was bone dry, and it had lost a few leaves. I mean, it's fine. I give it a good soak.
Yeah, they bounce back very quickly. So I've got one as well.
When I moved it, it was like... Pfft.
Yeah, I sometimes give mine a little shake.
Yeah.
And if loads of leaves fall off, I'm like, ooh, need to water it.
Honestly,
they bounce back.
Yeah, and if it's in the right position, away from drafts, just water it regularly. They're actually really easy, and they're beautiful. They really are.
That one's coming home with me as well.
Lovely. Isn't it lovely? That'd make a great gift as well, wouldn't it? Right, we're going to move.
It's a lovely housewarming present.
Yeah,
right.
But all of these plants are easy to grow. Now, I know this one as Devil's Ivy.
Yes.
I always know the popular names. We call it Marble Queen, don't we? And
The
it is a queen.
Epiprenum pinnatum.
Epiprenum pinnatum?
It's Marble Queen.
Yeah.
And you can see why. You can see that lovely foliage, the design on there. It's got that marble type look to the foliage that you've got on here. It's beautiful, isn't it?
It
I
really
like that extra just interest going on with the foliage. Sometimes it's great to have that solid colour, but I do like a bit of,
and this one
interest.
Is only $4.99.
Well, this one is correct. We've just heard in our ear. This one is actually
an amazing price.
Correct. So if you've got your £5 voucher to spend, that's part of your club membership, this you can get with your. It'll basically be free to you because you'll be spending your £5 voucher to get hold of this one.
That's an amazing price for this. Now, I've actually grown these in fairly low light, and they've done okay.
Yeah, they're not too bad at all. Light, bright, indirect, can cope with a little bit of low light.
Look at those leaves.
Very low maintenance, this one. If you want an ideal starter plant, this is one to go for. It's an excellent air purifier, by the way. It is what we would call a scrambling vine. So this is something that you want to either climb up like a moss pole or something like that, or you can trail it. If you've got one of those indoor hanging baskets or on the edge of a shelf, it can trail over the edge.
I've done both, but I particularly like these trailing.
Yeah, they're gorgeous.
The leaves are just gorgeous. The way it just gently rambles and trails down, and every leaf has got these really special markings. No two leaves are identical. I mean,
and they're shiny as well, aren't they?
And that one is so different from that one over there, isn't it?
Love
They're just gorgeous. So,
look at that one.
Epiprenum, Panatum, Marble Queen, or Devil's Ivy, as I call it.
There you go. To call it what you like. Just put it in your basket for $4.99.
But amazing value, and a lot of you have been ordering that this week. And then we have got a really nice triple selection.
I think these are so cute.
These are.
They're so cute. These are babies, okay, and I love them. I love that you've got the... Oh, it's a little baby. Sorry. Just look at them. So this is the Monstera deliciosa.
So this is a baby, but this can go into a giant, can't it?
Yeah, and I love that we've got these gorgeous little pots here. So this is the big variety, or it will be the big variety of the Monstera. So this is one that can reach, I mean, it can get 8 meters in height. So this is a climber.
We had one as a kid, and it finally got to the ceiling, but I mean that took years. But
it does take a while, and you can trim them back.
Yeah, you can chop the top off.
Yeah, they're really quite easy to maintain the size of. So please don't be put off by the fact that it can get to those heights. You can prune it back.
And this one, because it's a baby, it will take years and years to get to that sort of size.
And obviously the leaves are solid at the moment, because with your deliciosa, it takes a while. The plant needs to mature. The leaves need to mature before you get those characteristic holes in the leaves.
Yeah.
And look at that beautiful.
And I remember, as a child,
when
every new leaf came out, I was always fascinated to see how many perforations were in it, because it would vary, but the mature the plant gets, the bigger the leaves get.
And the big, I mean, they can be like this big, can't they?
They can, in their native environment, they do actually flower, but it's very unlikely inside the UK.
Very unlikely in the UK.
But I know I always lived in hope.
Maybe I'll get a flower.
Yeah. So that's the first one. It's commonly known as a Swiss cheese plant.
Yep.
Then, look at this trailing beauty. Look at this one.
Oh, the trailing jade.
Yeah. This has got a posh name as well, hasn't it?
Yes, it's called Peperonia rotundifolia.
Oh, there we go. Peperonia rotundifolia.
Yes. It's a trailing jade.
I like
Let's
trailing
just
jade,
stick with that one, shall we? It is gorgeous. It will trail gently, not massively at all. It doesn't get huge. We're not talking meters in length or anything. This one actually does well in fluorescent lights. So it wants bright but indirect, but it will cope with fluorescent lights. So you might see this often in like offices and things.
Yeah.
Because it can cope with the artificial light. So that's a really good one.
Do you know, you actually often find a plastic version of this.
You do, don't you?
Yeah, but it's like, why?
Yeah. The real one, they don't take much looking after.
Doesn't need a lot of water, this one, does it?
No, it really doesn't. This one is light watering, so again, just feel the top of the soil. Is it moist or is it a bit dry? Give it a water.
Because it does, you can see with the leaves, it actually does store a lot of water in its leaves.
Yeah.
So don't overwater that one.
Yeah. Slow growing. Doesn't get massive at all, and it takes a little while to get there. And what am I saying? I'm saying moderate light on it. So yeah, don't worry about that one too much at all. This one has been put together as a collection of easy to look after plants.
And then we've got the Algonoma Red Valentine.
Red Valentine, also known as Chinese evergreen. So this one has the characteristic rose pink leaves, but you've got on there the really dark sort of green blotches, which is what gives this its very unique look. Look how that leaf is opening as well.
Yeah.
That one that's curled up there, I think that's absolutely beautiful.
Now, you've got all three for just £9.99.
And I love the idea of getting those as small baby plants
and
growing those.
And they will turn into magnificent plants. Height-wise, as the Swiss cheese plant, that could even reach the ceiling in your home over many, many years.
Yeah.
The trailing jade, that's quite a slow grower. And then the Aglaonoma Red Valentine, that can go up to about, I'm going to say between 50 and 90
centimetres, I think, maximum
again,
height.
over a period of time.
Yes.
Amazing value in those, 800,319. Now that's only a tiny selection of the houseplants that we have got available.
Want.
There's a peace lily on our website. That's lovely,
there is, and also there's some pot covers on there
nice.
as well.
Yeah.
Really good value on those. So you've got different sizes. There's white and there's also an anthracite, like a beautiful grey on there. So have a little look for those as well.
And to find them, you just type in Brussels on our website, as in the sprouts, and the range comes up.
Yeah.
But some of them are only a few pounds, and they're lovely little pot covers.
Yeah, they're perfect for those.
Or type in pot cover. Thank you so much, by the way, to everyone that's watching today.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah,
good
afternoon now.
Good afternoon.
Any questions, any comments, you can still come through on, of course, Facebook, YouTube, and we have got a brand new email, which is ygtv@ugarden.com. And my name's Shaun. This is lovely Bex. Again, lots of you joining us on our social media as well.
Yeah,
so,
thank you.
Yes, we get lots of new followers every day.
We do, it's wonderful. And what we try and do on there is let you know what we're up to, as in when the shows are live, things that we're doing in our garden, if we're up at QVC, because obviously we're partnered with QVC as well. So we let you know when we're doing things like that. So it's well worth giving us a little follow so we can keep you informed.
Right, we're going to just quickly move back to one of your favourites today. It's the mixed Freesia. You get 50 singles, 50 doubles for $9.99, or you can double up and get 100 of each, so 200 Freesias in total for just £14.98. Freesias are they've got to be one of the most beautiful cut flowers and one of the most fragrant, but they're really expensive, aren't they?
Yeah.
You get a little bunch, don't you? I mean, I bought...
You bought some recently,
I bought some for a show, just to show you what Freesias look like and what they're going to be like. And I got like 6 stems for £5. And they look nothing.
Yeah.
I'm not being funny, but if you give them to loved ones, they'll be like, well, is that all?
Can you buy 5 more, please?
So to grow them yourself as a lovely flower in the garden, but also the ability to cut them and bring them inside is incredible. And these have been heat treated, and that's important, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really important because I think what we're saying, it sort of mimics its natural environment.
Yes.
Because obviously they come from a hot country. So by heat treating them, it gives them that kickstart, that boost to mean that you will actually get flowers this year. If you buy non-heat treated Freesia bulbs, the chances are you're going to struggle to actually get any flowers.
I mean, you might get all the leaves, but it could take a few years to flower, couldn't it?
Yeah, whereas you will get flowers from these in their first year. And you're getting 50 of the single and 50 of the double flowers in here as well. So even more petals, even more gorgeous colour as well. And the range of colour that you've got in this collection, I think, is really, really beautiful. It's a rainbow, isn't it? It's a rainbow of colour. Really easy to look after as well. I mean, they need a little bit of protection, don't they?
They do.
They're not one that you're going to want to just plant out into the ground because they just need a bit of protection from frost. But now is a really good time to get hold of them and get them started. Get them started frost-free in your greenhouse. Keep an eye on the weather. Give them that a little bit of extra protection, but it's going to be well worth doing it because the flowers you'll get from these this year, sort of into the summertime, sort of late July into August, that's when you're going to get those beautiful Freesias.
And do get them started as soon as possible, because that heat treatment, it only lasts a certain amount of time. So you really want to get these potted up as soon as they arrive.
Yeah.
Get them off to a good start.
I might give those a go, actually. Why not? Might give those a go.
Yeah, I've not grown Freesias in years.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
My mum grew them in her last house and they were lovely.
Yeah. The fragrance you get from Freesia, it's probably one of the most sweetly scented summer flower that you can grow.
Yeah, well, we're having one of our busiest Sundays in a long, long time. Loads of great deals, but don't forget to unlock all of the promotions. You do need to use the code YGTV0424, and that will give you your free spring summer flowering bulbs that are worth £20 and all the other promotions as well.
Back to the begonias.
So am I right saying more people have ordered these than anything else?
I think you are.
How many bags are you going to buy?
Oh, well, right, I've got 2 hanging baskets. So 2 of those, then I want 3 pots. So how many are we getting? 10? 10. I'm probably going to order at least 3 lots. Yeah. Maybe 4. No, 3 will be fine. 3 will be fine. 30 tubers is what I want. And it's $6.99. Yeah. Right, so the display I'm going to get from that, I'm going to have 2 of the big hanging baskets, and I'm going to have 3 big pots, and that is going to flower all summer long with very little work and effort from me. All I need to do is get them started now, get them started frost-free, but they flower continuously right the way through from June, July, August, September, October, up to the first frost. So we're talking 5 months worth of colour. You don't need to deadhead them. No. Although it's encouraged that you should, but I didn't deadhead mine. The flowers just sort of naturally
so they just fall off when they're done.
And you get more and more blooms from them. They don't mind a sunny or a shady spot. They're tolerant of all the British summer weathers. They are just, they're so good.
And I know I mentioned this earlier, but me and my other half have got a pub and I look after the pub garden, and it's really important to me because I don't want customers coming and seeing a shoddy looking guy, especially when they know what I do as well. You imagine the embarrassment.
Hang on, aren't you that presenter and plant man?
Don't you do the plant show? What what else comes in garden? So but I don't have a huge amount of time because I look after my garden, my mum's garden, work, of course, as well. So I do use masses of begonias in the pub garden.
Yeah.
Because everything Bex said, they're so low maintenance.
So low maintenance, long flowering, gorgeous fragrance you get from begonias too. I think it's more the foliage that smells than the flowers.
What I've learned is every summer can be different. So sometimes I've done lots of petunias. I love petunias, but if it's a wet summer, they're not the best.
Yeah.
You know, petunias, it rains and they go too much.
Petunias, but you're right.
Yeah, I love them too. I've done geraniums before, and they're great when it's sunny and hot. But if you have a cold summer, again a wet summer, they're not brilliant. These don't go.
I'm having the begonias. And with this particular collection, what you've got are the Belgian begonias as well, okay? And that's important because I'm afraid the Belgians just do it best. And these come from a world-renowned, spent his life breeding these begonias. Arnold van Petegem is his name. And as I say, he spent his whole life developing these. Bred for strength and vigour, larger flowers, longer flowering seasons, stronger stems, and for the upright ones, beautifully upright as well. So, yeah, the Belgians do it best when it comes to begonias, and we have the best here. And you've got the beautiful range of colours. You've got single colour, you've got bicolour. They're big, they're blousy, and they are just extraordinary. I'm hoping that my enthusiasm for these really is coming across to you, because I just think these are a total winner. And always, always, if not the top, is certainly in the top 3 of the favourites of what you buy. Brilliant.
And just in terms of planting...
Yeah, go for it. Show them.
Because they're funny-looking things.
They are.
So, that's what they look like.
I mean, that's going to create these... mind blown.
It's like my beard on a bad day, but...
Before it's been combed.
Yeah. So... There's a rounded side and then there's a concave side, and that's the top, the concave side. If you can just see that.
Yeah, you can just see the little dip, can't you?
Sometimes you have to give them a good feel just to know which is the right side. And I always plant mine really shallowly. So I start them off in, I mean, there's different ways to do it, but I normally put mine in seed trays. So there's about an inch of compost in there, and I just scatter a little bit on the top. Wait till they start sprouting, get little sprouts that then open up into leaves, and then once they're beginning to form, that's when I put them into pots and hanging baskets.
Yes.
But you've got to keep them frost-free.
And if you're unsure of which way round it is, if you do what Shaun's saying and start them off like that, you'll soon see, because that concave bit is where you start seeing the shoots. So if you're not getting any shoots, turn them over. You
just occasionally get the odd one that you're not sure about.
Yeah.
Like that one, feel that. That's a bit in...
Yeah.
That's a bit, yeah.
That one's a... So yeah, with that one, I mean, I'm uncertain as to which side is the concave side, and I'd probably go that way. But if you do what Shaun is suggesting and start them off in those shallow pots, you'll soon see which side the shoots come from.
Yeah.
So it's the best way to do it, really is.
But they are easy to grow.
They are so easy.
They really are, and they do not care.
Please get them.
Whatever summer we have, your begonias look great.
Get those.
But they are selling really quickly today, really, really quickly. And you do get the most popular item. Lots of multi-ordering. And don't forget, you only pay 1 postage per order. So if you spend under £40, you pay 1 postage per order. If you spend over £40, the maximum P&P disappears and you'll get free postage. So any order over £40 will get free postage. If it's under that, you just pay the 1 postage, whichever the highest is. And you get your free gift.
You will indeed. Make sure you enter that code, please, on every single order that you ever place. We do change the code on a weekly basis, so you do need to enter the relevant code. This week it is YGTV0424. £20 worth of spring and summer flowering bulbs will be entered into your basket automatically, and these come back for you year after year after year. So fantastic, £20 worth of freebies that will come back every year.
So we are having a very, very busy Sunday today. Thank you so much.
Love it.
Right.
Potatoes.
So this is our patio potato growing kits, and you get everything you need apart from compost, which you've also got on the show. Now, I've not grown potatoes for a few years, but I'm growing them this year. You grew them last year, didn't you?
I did. I grew them last year. We did a deal on You Garden, and it was the bags, actually, rather than the pots. Either way, it really doesn't matter. So I grew them last year, and it was fantastic.
Yeah.
It's so easy to do. Loved it. Got my kids involved. The youngest one, not the oldest one. He wasn't bothered. Yeah, look, this is us digging those potatoes out. He had a whale of a time digging those out. All we did, and this is the beautiful thing about this potato growing kit, okay, there is no digging involved. So we grew them in the green bags, and then once it was ready, we cut the stems off. You can see them just on the lawn at the back there.
Yep.
And then there's the green bag. We tipped that out into that rubbish plastic pot there. But that's where we were able to then start digging through and getting all those potatoes out. And we got loads of potatoes. We got so many of them, but with no digging.
And how did they taste?
So good.
Yeah.
Even the boys ate them.
Now, this kit comes with this is my favourite, because it comes with 3 heavy-duty pots to grow them in. And I can honestly say, these are of everything that I've ever bought from You Garden, I use these more than anything else. I know you're exactly the same, aren't you?
I do. I use them all the time for growing, for garden clearance, for so many different things.
So they're really well made. It's pretty much impossible to break the handles. I've had mine over 10 years. I've never broken a handle.
Yep.
Go on, Bex, give it a go.
Unlike that rubbish plastic pot you saw in that video.
Yeah, exactly.
They break all the time.
Look at this.
He's definitely stronger than me. Definitely stronger than me.
But they're virtually indestructible. You've got drainage at the bottom, but all the way around the side.
Yeah, this is what makes them commercial growing pots, okay? Because you've got the drainage in the bottom, but also these big drainage holes around the side, which means that your plants, whatever you're growing, you're going to really struggle for it to be waterlogged.
Yeah.
There's extra space for that water to drain away.
And most plants do not like to be waterlogged. Some do, but not many.
Not many at all.
They're 30 litres, so great for growing your potatoes, but if you're not growing potatoes next year, raspberries, tomatoes, great for doing your weeding, gathering up leaves, just carrying things around the garden, storage, they're superb. Then you get 3 different seed potatoes, an early, a medium, or mid I should say, and a late. So this is designed, you plant them all at the same time, but it gives you a long cropping season, doesn't it?
Yeah, it gives you that longer cropping season because you get those 3 different varieties. So get them started off. They're all in their individually labelled bags, so you know which is which. Important to know. Make sure you know which is which.
Yes.
Don't take them all out and jumble them up together. So take them out and you're going to chit the potatoes. This is why it's really important to get hold of your potatoes now, because that chitting process can take it can take a good 6 weeks for that to happen.
Could easily take you into March, actually, couldn't
Absolutely,
it? Early March.
Which is when you want to be planting them out, really. So take them out of the bag, stand them on end inside an empty egg carton box.
That's open.
That's open. Yeah, don't shut it.
No.
Put it somewhere light, on a windowsill somewhere, and just leave them. What you'll start seeing is all the shoots coming out the side. That's normally when we throw our potatoes away, isn't it, when they start getting the shoots? That's what you want. Loads of shoots coming out the side of the potatoes. That's when we're going to start this process. That's when they're ready to plant out. Put a layer of compost inside the bottom of the heavy-duty pot. Put your seed potatoes with the shoots inside the heavy-duty pot. Be careful not to break the shoots off. That's where the growth is going to come from. Just cover them with compost, sprinkle in some of the potato fertiliser that is included in the kit. Wait for some green growth.
Yeah, but give it a good soak as well.
Yeah, water.
Yeah.
Wait for some green growth. Cover the green growth with compost. Bit of fertiliser.
Water.
Wait for the green growth. Bit of fertiliser. Water.
You get the idea?
You get it. And then once we get to the top here, about, 3-4 inches from the top, that's when we stop that process. Water well. Your potatoes are mostly water, so water it really well. And then what we're going to do is just keep watering until we see, the foliage just starts to sort of fade a little bit, go over. You get little white flowers, they start to go over. That's basically your sign that your potatoes are ready for you to start harvesting. Get your hand in, dig one out, see if it looks good, and then what you can do is tip the bucket onto a tarpaulin, tip it up into another bucket, and then start harvesting your potatoes.
And the reason we wanted to bring this is because even if you've got a small garden, just a little patio, a yard, you can actually grow potatoes. Do it the easy way without having to dig the ground, without having to put lots of back work into it.
I'm doing it again this year. I can't wait.
Right.
Loved it. So much fun.
I've not grown potatoes for years, but I cannot wait to do this. And you've got 3 varieties. You've got the first one, which is the Pentland Javelin. That's the first one to crop. Charlotte is the next one.
Charlotte, and then your Desiree.
Desiree, yes, which is the red skin. So that's your Pentland Javelin. That'd be the first to crop. Then it would be the Charlotte, which is like the
salad
oval
potato. Yeah, lovely salad potato.
Yeah.
And that's your Desiree, which is a real...
That's an all-rounder, isn't it?
Versatile. Chipping, roasting, mashing, baking.
Sauteing. I like it in like... I dissect sometimes.
Hasselback.
Yeah. Ooh,
Love a Hasselback.
I do. But under £20.
I'm hungry, can you tell?
Yeah, I'm quite peckish.
It's lunchtime.
So under £20, all you need is some of our compost. And actually, if you buy this with compost, you'd get free delivery.
Yeah, you would.
It'd
take you over the £40, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So
enter the code.
That's all you need. Compost and the potato kit.
And actually, one lot of compost will do you for this because they are 30 litres, so that's 90 litres worth of compost.
A little bit left over. But as Bex says, now is the time because you need to chip the potato. So it's going to take, we say, 5 to 7 working days to deliver this. It may be quicker. But that would take you into the first few days of February. Then you need to chip those for 4 to 6 weeks. So that takes you second week in March. Yeah. And that's probably the right time then.
Perfect time to plant them out.
So although you might be thinking, hang on, because I know obviously you need to keep potatoes frost-free and things, but actually if you do the maths and work out the days and the weeks, now is the best time to buy them.
It really is. That's why it's the most popular time in January on the YouGarden website to get hold of these.
So I'm buying those. I'll be honest, I don't need the pots because I've got loads, but we do refill kits.
We do.
On our website as well. Right, do you know what's really exciting today? Loads of you have been looking at the Mimosa.
Yeah.
Quite a few orders gone through for this. And Bex and I, we get to see wonderful plants here at YouGarden every single day of the year pretty much. But there is nothing quite like a mimosa in winter, is there?
I think it's absolutely gorgeous, yeah. Because the flowers that come on here, that cover this plant, I mean, the foliage is beautiful, and we'll come to that. But just look at this. This is genuinely the kind of display that you can get from your mimosa. The amount of flowers that you can get on here is absolutely incredible, and it kind of covers the foliage with these, and they're quite strong as well. They don't just blow away.
Good point, actually.
Pom-pom, beautiful flowers that have a really gorgeous fragrance on there. And then we've got this lovely foliage on here as well. Gorgeous, filigree, fern-like foliage that's evergreen, so that's always there.
It looks kind of like prehistoric, don't you think?
It does a bit, doesn't it? No, it does. It needs a little bit of protection, okay? Because we're saying it's winter hardy, down to about sort of -3, -5 once it's established. So you are going to want to look after it a little bit, certainly initially. And obviously, it very much depends on where you live in the country, where your garden is facing, and all the rest of it. But what we're going to suggest is, when you get it home in its pure state now, you might want to keep it in it'd be perfect conservatory plant.
Yeah.
Absolute perfect conservatory plant for you. So just keep it frost-free for the time being. Look after it. You might want to pot it on, you might want to put it in a bigger pot or something. And then once the chance of frost has passed, then we can plant that out into our gardens.
Yeah. And because it is fundamentally a Mediterranean plant, you'll find it in France, Spain, even as far as New Zealand, actually.
Yeah.
Ideal situation would be a sunny spot, south-facing, in a sheltered area in well-drained soil. This would hate to be cold and waterlogged.
Yes.
So if you've got a sunny, south-facing area, well-drained, that's perfect. Now, if you haven't got that, it may be worth just growing this in a pot.
Yeah.
Because you're in control there. You can find the right spot for it.
It'd be lovely in a pot. And it also means that you can move that pot around the garden wherever you want it to be. Take advantage of that fragrance. And also, if you are worried about any overwintering, it's very easy to do it by having it in a pot, isn't it?
Now, in the right spot, they can be very fast growing. So you can actually even get growth of about 3 foot a year. On our website, we say this grows to about 3 metres. That's kind of an average in the UK. But they can grow into magnificent trees.
They can.
That's several metres in terms of height. They are very, very easy to prune and to cut back, though.
Very easy, and because they're fast growing, you'll get that growth back.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, think of your south coast. If you're, living down south, brilliant.
So it does say, but funny enough, we read a little message from a lady in Scotland, and I would have normally said, in Scotland, I wouldn't have gone for this, but
she got it. It grew well, didn't it?
Yeah. So, but you really do need to think about where this is going to go. Sunny spot, well-drained soil, protected, and if you do live in a cold part of the country, then a pot is probably best because then you're in control. Right, we've still got lots to show you. Good afternoon, but it's been lovely to have your company today.
Yeah, really good.
Yes. We're back live. We finish at 2 today, then we're back on Wednesday.
Yep, from 10 o'clock.
10 till 1.
10 till 1.
And we're both here Wednesday, aren't we?
We're both here Wednesday.
Yes.
Are you here Thursday as well?
No.
You're not here Thursday?
No, I'm at QVC on Thursday. I don't know who you're with on Thursday.
Who am I with on Thursday? Some guy. Oh, Joe! Joe's back. Joe's back with us on Thursday. Yeah, so 10 till 1 on Wednesday, 10 till 1 on Thursday, and 10 till 2 on Sunday is our current hours.
We're both back together next Sunday, aren't we?
We are indeed,
yes. But you can still chat to us now, so we've got about another 40-odd minutes on the show on Facebook, YouTube, and YGTV at yougarden.com. Right, loads more to show you. Gladioli next.
Yeah, we love the Gladioli. This is fantastic because this is a buy one, get one free offer.
So that's 200.
200, yeah. Which initially some people might go, whoa, I don't need 200. You definitely do. All right, I'll give you the reason why. They grow nice and tall. Can get up to 1 metre in height, but they're really slender.
Yes.
You don't, 10 centimetre width maximum.
So they look good close together, matched,
don't they?
So
you want to plant these in multiples together. I would be planting probably 30 together. So if you multiply that out to the 200, we're not talking about loads of bulbs. And if 200 is too many, still make sure you enter that code to get your 200 of them and give a bag to someone else.
Yeah, why not?
Gardening's all about sharing.
But these are great for back of the border, aren't they?
Totally. You want these at the back of the border. You want them in a sunny spot. The bees absolutely adore them. You can use them as cut flowers, particularly because you're getting 200 of them, and leave them in the ground. They naturalise. Yeah. They will come back for you year after year after year.
Do you know, I'm even, because I've got some spare 30-litre pots.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm thinking of growing some there just for cut flowers.
Yeah, perfect. Absolutely perfect. And because, as I said, you're getting 200 of these, you've got enough to have gorgeous displays in your garden and then enough to be able to use as cut flowers to bring indoors.
No, these are winter hardy, these ones, aren't
they?
Yeah, they're really easy to grow. And as a cut flower, they actually last a long time inside.
They do, don't they? And they sort of open in succession.
Yeah.
So they start from the bottom and then they open up. And sometimes what you find is the bottom ones start to fade before the top ones are open, which is brilliant. Yeah. You just take the bottom ones off and allow it to carry on flowering.
Well, you're going to get 200. It's a buy one, get one free today at just £14.98, 630 002. Right, some beautiful poppies next, Oriental poppies. And this is also at an amazing price today, saving £7 with postage included. I love poppies, don't you?
They're beautiful, Ooh. Yeah. I think they definitely mean something to us in the UK, don't they, with remembrance and things. So I think they've really got a lovely meaning to them. But they're that cottage garden style, which I think a lot of us as gardeners sort of aspire to. And maybe it's not the whole garden, but certain areas, we all want that cottage garden feel. Some
flowers that we see on the show are quite formal.
Yes.
I'd consider an agapanthus coming up next quite formal, but poppies, they're natural looking. Yes. They're kind of, there's a freeness to them, isn't there?
Absolutely. You find them in nature.
Yeah.
You find them quite prolifically wild. So to be able to have them in our gardens is amazing. The Oriental poppies as well, they're quite long flowering. You can get flowers from them for, up to about 6 weeks.
I was going to say 6 weeks or so.
Totally. And each of these flowers, each of these bare roots, once they establish, you can get so many blooms from them. You get multiples, 20 to 30 flowers once they're established. And lovely large flower heads with that gorgeous characteristic dark centre in there as well. I think they're beautiful, and you get a lovely mix of shades in this collection.
Now they are arriving as a bare root. You're going to get 5 bare roots. They're fully winter hardy, so you can plant them right now. Planting depth, I'm going to say 4 to 6 inches, but it's all on the front.
It's all on the instructions, absolutely.
Slightly less actually, 2 to 3.
Okay, yeah.
Height-wise,
about 90 centimetres they reach, about 90.
God, they're going to be gorgeous, aren't they?
It's so pretty, lovely mixture of colours, and I think in a herbaceous border, that will be a really good addition because they die down, over the winter months, and then they come back for you year after year. Although you have given a great tip, which I love, which is once they finish flowering, you cut them down.
I do, because sometimes, I'll be honest, the foliage gets a little bit. What's the word I'm looking for?
Untidy.
It does a little bit.
Yeah, it does a little bit.
Once it flowered, the foliage can sometimes just get a little bit straggly. It can. So what I do is I chop it right back, and you then start to get regrowth within about 2 to 3 weeks. and then sometimes you will get some extra poppies in autumn.
I love that
Never,
idea.
you never get as many, but yeah, we did it with Mum's because she had this. One of them was huge, and it had about 20 odd flowers. But then once it had flowered, it didn't look great. Then we chopped it back, and she got about 3 or 4.
Wow.
But it's nice.
It's still
yeah.
good. If you can get more flowers,
and it
that's
just
a great idea.
tidies it all up.
Love it.
But yeah, you should get flowers in the first year, but year 2, year 3, you're going to get more and more and more. Great one for the pollinators as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
We know how important that is. We need that wide variety of life in our gardens, the pollinators, the birds. We even need slugs and snails, just not around the things that we want to grow.
But again, you are saving a fortune by buying those as a bare root today. Now, we've got our agapanthus next, and this is the Afrikaans blue. This is the big one, so these will go to nearly a metre, actually, when they're fully mature.
Yeah, lovely foliage at the bottom, but it's these beautiful firework display of flowers that we grow these for. And you can get the shorter ones, you can get the smaller ones. In fact, I've got some of them. But these are the big boys. These are the big Africanus blues, the beautiful spikes that you get. It's really strong stems that come out of the foliage, and then that firework display of the flower at the top. Proper head turner, and with a little bit of care, these can last you a lifetime. They will add that beautiful Mediterranean touch and feel to your borders and to your pots. Couple of tips that we like to give you. Hug the roots. Make sure the roots feel hugged. They're perfect for growing in pots for that reason. You know, you can keep the roots nice and restricted. You never want to go into too big a pot. And the other one is mulch them.
Yes.
If you're planting them out into borders, because they're not fully hardy, they do need a little bit of extra protection. So mulch them if you're planting them out into borders. Even in your pots, mulch them. Or if you're really worried, depending on where you live, you might want to move those pots. But they're an absolute head turner, a proper showstopper, and something that, as I say, with a little bit of care, can last you a really long time.
And although you will not get flowers the first year, it's very unlikely.
Yes.
Year 2, year 3 onwards. But you're getting them for £1 each today. So it's really worth just growing these on, and then in say year 2 onwards, you could be having displays like this. Absolutely amazing value on those. 580023, buy 5 and get 5 absolutely free.
Right.
Oh, now we've been asked, would we like to see one of our viewers' gardens?
Yes,
Always.
yes,
Always.
please. Graham is one of our regular viewers.
Yeah. But we've never seen his garden.
He has sent us a picture.
Oh my word.
Wow. Oh, I love your Acer. That is an Acer, isn't it? That's the one I got last year. I've forgotten the name of it. That is beautiful.
Well, everything's beautiful there, isn't it?
Oh my word.
Apparently there's more.
Apparently this is nothing. Oh, Graham, you are teasing me.
God.
Look at that. Look at the colour combination. This is why I love Acers.
Thank you, Graham.
Yellow. Oh, Graham!
Look at those hostas.
See, he's done what I've done. Hosta and Acer together. Thank you. I knew I was doing the right thing.
Oh my word, Graham, seriously, that's a beautiful garden, isn't it?
Wow. That's...
Look at the impatiens there, and then those gorgeous ferns. So they're all, I'm taking it, they're in a bit of a shady spot, Graham, because they go really well together.
Oh my word. I love you sending pictures. Thank you. Graham, look at your garden.
Look at that lawn, Bex.
Yeah, my lawn's rubbish.
Hang on, Graham, is that a real lawn?
It looks real.
I mean, my word.
Oh, is that the osteos?
Yeah, that's one of our echinaceas, isn't it?
Is it echinacea? I think that looks like the osteospermum.
Ooh.
I think that's an
now
osteospermum.
I'm looking at the leaves.
That's beautiful. Are there any more pictures? Oh,
wow.
I love looking.
Yeah.
I love looking at pictures.
No, I think you're right on that one, Bex, and I've looked closer. Yeah, of course. God.
Oh, I've left all the houseplants out, guys. We don't want the houseplants, do we?
Right, the houseplants, lots of orders going through for those.
Look at that garden.
That is really lovely.
It's beautiful, Graham.
I love all those immaculate hostas, don't you?
They are immaculate. I bet he uses Strolch.
He uses something, unless he's very lucky. And the aces look just, I mean, what I really am getting from Graham's garden, the incredible use of colour.
Yeah, really gorgeous.
Yeah, I mean, you look at all different colours. And Graham, you obviously know what you're doing because you can see he's definitely got the right plants in the right position.
Totally.
And actually a lot of pots as well. But I love the shadio with all the, say, the busy lizzies and some of the fabulous ferns there as well, and the hostas. Absolutely stunning. That does look good, doesn't it? So Graham, thank you so much for those. Really pretty. And some lovely Cordylines up front there as well. Yes.
Beautiful.
Right, just quickly as well. So you just saw Graham's hostas. Now, these are obviously mature and established. We've got 10 hostas on our show, bare roots, and these will be, in the first year, you'll still get lots of nice foliage, but they're working out £1 each today.
£1 each. Absolutely brilliant. And if you want a garden like our lovely Graham there, get yourself some of these for sure.
Lots of different varieties in this, lots of different coloured leaves, and you are getting 10 for £9.99. Now, in the first year, they may not flower because obviously they're bare roots. You'll still get loads of lovely foliage. You may get some flowers, but you're probably going to get more in year 2 and year 3. I'll be honest, I'm never that bothered about the flowers on hostas in general. You know, I grow mine mostly for the foliage. Hostas love a shady spot. They'll tolerate more sun, but they are great in those difficult shady areas. And we saw with Graham's garden, they look great in pots as well, of course.
Amazing in pots. And really good plant as a contrast with other ones.
Yeah.
And Graham and I have done a similar thing. We've got the acers and the hostas together because you get that lovely contrast between the foliage, but you also got the colours in there as well that contrast beautifully.
Yeah. And I've got my hostas underneath the eucalyptus tree when it's really shady. And I do struggle with that area. Hostas, they're great there. I just have to make sure I feed them because obviously the eucalyptus does zap a lot of the food. But hostas are wonderful plants, and to get 10, £1 each, £9.99 is phenomenal. 580 049.
Quick one. Neil's been asking. He's been asking about his fritillaria, the Crown Imperial. Do you remember those lovely orange ones we were bringing? He was saying he's not seeing shoots coming up yet. Should they be? Now, normal flower. I've planted some as well, and I have not checked on their progress, to be honest with you, Neil. So I don't know if I've got shoots. I've got to remember where I planted them. But normal sort of flowering time is going to be April, May. So I think it's potentially a little bit early.
Yeah, I'd have thought so.
I would suggest it's maybe a little bit early.
Especially
I'd give that a little bit of time.
Cold. I know it's warming up. In fact, I reckon because the weather's getting a lot warmer, you may well start seeing them come up in the next couple of weeks.
Start seeing in the next few weeks. I'd give it a little bit more time now and have a little look.
Don't panic yet.
Don't panic. Don't panic.
But it has been chilly, and so the next 2 weeks it's forecasting a lot warmer, and it'll be amazing how many things come out.
It will be.
And come up.
Give it a little bit longer now. Let's have a look. See in 2 or 3 weeks. See if you see anything.
And keep us informed, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Right, Burning Love is next, Leucothoe. What a gorgeous plant this is. It is on special today. It's down to £8.99 with a £6 saving. And this one is all about fabulous foliage. So this is all new growth. And the new growth comes through this phenomenal red colour. And then as it matures, it gets more of this kind of olive green. It is a beautiful plant in terms of the colour, but also the shape of the leaves. And actually really glossy as well. You will get some flowers in the summertime as well, but this is predominantly grown for its fantastic foliage. The only thing you need to know with this one, it does need an acid soil. So you will need an ericaceous compost. We've got some on our website. Just type in Eric and it will come up. If you know how to spell it, it's ERICACEOUS. But you'll find it on our website, ericaceous compost. And that's what this will need if it's in pots. You can put it in beds and borders, but just mix some of that ericaceous in as and when you plant it. Relatively compact. It's not going to be a big plant. It will only grow to about 75 by 75 centimetres, so it's perfect for a pot. And also will tolerate kind of semi-shade position. I mean, I'm going to put mine in my ericaceous border, and it gets some sun but not loads and loads of sun. But that is a really good all-rounder, something that looks really lovely every month of the year, but phenomenal looking foliage. And it is down to £8.99, 511058 is your item there. Right, Bex, you're going to be ordering the Calla lilies,
I
aren't
got
you?
them already.
Oh, you ordered yours, yes.
I've got them.
So these are the black Calla lilies. When we say black, they are almost black, aren't they?
I love.
Look at the shape
they've
of
got
these.
kind of a real sort of maroony, really dark. They're as black as you can get, basically, when it comes to flowering. Shall I put my teeth back in? They're the blackest flowers that we can bring you, basically.
Yeah, teeth are back in next, don't we?
Sorry.
So,
had a moment.
Calla lilies are just extraordinary, aren't they?
They're really. I love the shape of them.
Yeah,
That
they're like
beautiful fluted.
they're like you can imagine a posh vase being created like that,
Or a drinking glass.
yeah, it's like a goblet almost, like a posh champagne glass or something.
Exactly, yeah. Love them.
So Calla lilies, they flower. They're kind of like late summer. The flowers last several weeks, but even when the flowers go over, I chop them off and then just enjoy the foliage.
Yeah, it's almost like having a hosta.
There's
isn't
mine.
It's almost like a hosta.
Yeah.
The foliage that you get for that.
It's lovely.
Look at the interest on that foliage as well.
Now, this was towards the end of the summer, so actually these were beginning to go over.
Yeah,
but you
they
can
still look beautiful.
They were amazing.
They
And they start off, these are about 12 years old. That starts off with one little pot.
Yeah.
And they're
so
just
easy to look after, though, aren't they? Even with a plant that requires a little bit of extra protection from frost, they're actually quite simple, particularly if you are growing them in pots like you do. What do you do with your pots once the winter comes?
I tend to put the pots in, I've put them in the garage before, which they've been fine with. Stop watering, obviously, during the winter. Put them in the garage, or I've put them in the greenhouse. They have sometimes got a little bit frozen, but they've been okay. But I've put sometimes it's really cold, just a bit of fleece over the top, something like that.
Bit of mulch, that'd be fine.
But mine have come back year after year.
What do you do with the foliage? Do you cut it back or do you just let it die back?
When it gets to... The foliage starts to die down anyway when it gets to late autumn. And then what I normally do, once it's gone really straggly, I literally just pull it off. Because it tends to go really mushy and wet when it gets towards winter. And I just take all the foliage off and then that's it.
That's it.
Then just store them over the winter.
That's how easy it's going to be.
Yeah, I start to feed mine when the leaves just start to come through.
Yes.
Because one year I didn't feed early enough and I didn't get as many flowers.
Absolutely. Once you start seeing active growth, which is the rule with the majority of things, that's when you start giving them a feed.
Yeah. But they are amazing. There's a double up deal on that. 3 for £9.99, 6 for £14.98.
Lovely. Which dahlia, Shaun, do you think has been the most popular?
Oh, that's a tough one.
The dinner plate or the Blackberry Ripple?
I'm going to say Blackberry Ripple.
I'm going dinner plates. He did just tell me before I said it, but I was going to say dinner plates. I had
a 50-50 chance there, didn't I?
Dinner plates are always really popular though, aren't they? It's just because that was a bit different, a bit unusual maybe.
See, I'm going for the Blackberry. I am. But the dinner plates, I have to say actually, the dinner plates, I think it's the value, don't you?
Value, you're getting 5 tubers included in there, but you can go for that double up deal and get 10 of these for £14.98, so less than £1.50 each.
Yeah.
Long flowering, but with the dinner plates, you get massive blooms. They're called dinner plates because they can be 8 inches across, and they're floriferous, aren't they, or petaliferous. Yeah. You get layer upon layer of petal on there, and just a beautiful range of colours. Really long flowering season, flower after flower after flower, right the way through from June. And we were seeing dahlias. I remember driving to the potting shed in November. There was this lovely house I passed.
Oh, yes.
That just had loads of dahlias, and that was in November. Yeah. Because they're really long flowering.
Until the first frost come, they'll keep going.
Yeah. Gorgeous.
So, sunny position. Some people leave them in the ground over the winter, but again, it depends where you live.
Yeah, you have to make that decision, I'm afraid.
Yeah, how harsh the winter is.
Exactly.
Some people dig them up and store the tubers. Some people mulch them and just make sure they've got extra protection. But even this year, to get 10 tubers at £1.50 each at $14.98. These are going to grow up to about 90 centimetres height-wise.
Yeah, that's it. You get loads
plant.
of foliage, but loads and loads of flowers that come through there as well. So you can use them as cut flowers, bring them indoors. But as Shaun was telling us, make sure that the flowers are open before you cut them, because unlike, you know, a rose, for example, that you can open while the flower is closed. These won't open.
No, I only learned that last week.
I know, that's amazing. See, we're always learning.
I know. But they will give you just a massive colour.
Yeah, they will.
Huge displays. And each flower can be up to 8 inches.
That's like...
It's huge. Yeah. There. Probably your face. Yeah, yours is slimmer than mine, isn't it? Yeah.
If I do that.
Mine would be slimmer if I shave my beard off, I'm sure. Anyway, the other ones...
It makes you look bigger. Don't ever do that.
What?
Makes your face look bigger when you slim. Beard is slimming, I think.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's easy. I hate shaving. I just hate shaving.
Slims it.
I used to hate shaving.
My husband did it once, right? So he trims his beard, but he put the wrong head on. He put like a number 1
I've
on.
nearly done that and took a chunk out.
And he went all the way up, and then he shaved it all off. I wouldn't go near him for 3 weeks.
Really?
I was like, nope. Grow it back. But anyway,
yeah. I couldn't imagine not having a beard.
Ugh, don't do it.
No.
Blackberry Ripple is the dahlia for you.
Yes.
If you want more dahlias in your life, love this one. I think, you know, if you're going for your dinner plates, why not add the Blackberry Ripple in there as well?
I think if you want a statement dahlia,
yeah,
because this is one of our new ones.
Yeah.
The markings are incredible.
Totally.
And to me, that is a perfect flower, isn't it?
It's gorgeous, and it's the amount of petals that you get on a dahlia. Just layer upon layer upon layer, lovely markings on there, gorgeous colours, long flowering, gives you that gorgeous cottage feel look. You know, all of the things that we've been saying about the dinner plate dahlias, you can have that, and I think a little bit more with this one.
And remember, just keep them, I'd plant them now in pots, keep them frost-free.
Yep.
They'll start to flower summer right the way through to, well, the first frost.
Oh, there's so many plants I want today. I'm selling all of these plants to myself. I want to get them all today.
What I'm really pleased about, dahlias have become so in fashion again, and they really did go out of fashion. It's weird with plants. Sometimes they just do. I'm just thinking like pampas grass, that went out of fashion for a while, and now that's huge again. But right now, bang on trend, beautiful varieties. I don't know how many different types of dahlias there now are in the world, but so many, aren't they?
So many. My bank account's going to take a hit this week.
No, because you're a club member, don't worry.
That's it, yes, of course. I'm going to save 10% on everything.
630 314 for the Blackberry Ripple. So it's 3 tubers for £9.99, or you can double up and get 6 for £14.98. Right, we are just going to remind everybody first of all, you've got to use the code today, YGTV0424. That unlocks all the promotions.
Puts a free gift into your bag.
There's your free gift.
Yeah. So put that code in and we will automatically enter your free gift worth £19.98. Spring and summer flowering bulbs. 5 different varieties that will naturalise, that will multiply, that will come back for you year after year after year. Just remember, it's an absolute free gift as long as you enter that code.
Yeah, and there's the anemones that you get in there.
Yeah, you get ixia, you get drumsticks,
the alliums are all there.
muscaris, and the tulips, the sky-high ones as well.
Yeah, you can plant all of those right now. They are worth nearly £20. But also, if you spend over £40, and lots of you have today, you will get free delivery on your order. So if you maybe got a basket open right now, and it's maybe, I don't know, £20, but you've got postage on it, get yourself some compost.
Yes, absolutely. We're going to need... I'm just thinking about the amount of things I want to plant. So
I've got loads to do next week.
I'm going to get some dahlias going. I've got my Calla lilies and my begonias to start. Like, there's so many things. And yeah, I need my compost.
Yeah,
so
and the
get
weather.
This in.
I'm going to check the weather again. Hang on.
He's going to check the weather. It is going to start getting better. We know we're all getting excited, aren't we, about getting out there and planting things. So compost is definitely one you need to add into your basket. And if we're talking about compost, we are going to talk about our premium professional compost, because this is the best you can buy. We genuinely, wholeheartedly believe that.
We really have got a bit of a heat wave next week, you know.
Yeah, look at that.
So look, next week here we live
Lincolnshire. Basically.
So Friday is 14 degrees.
Hey!
Well, Thursday's 13 with overnight temperature. Yeah, look at this. Friday 14. Saturday 13. Sunday 11. So, and even all the following week.
12, 9, 9, 9.
Yeah, it's really hot for the time of year.
It's beautiful.
But I reckon we always say we deliver within 5 to 7 working days. But there's a very good chance you could have your order by the weekend and you've got all weekend to plant.
Totally.
Yeah. It's going to be sunny as well. That's really good, isn't it? Right, sorry, Bex.
No, it's all right. So, premium professional compost. It has a wonderful, back in the room, it has a wonderful, light, airy texture. And what we say is seeds through to trees and everything in between. So, all of your gardening jobs that you're going to be doing over, well, the entire year, but certainly the coming weeks, if you're planting seeds, as we are going to be, absolutely fantastic for germinating seeds. If you're planting your begonias and getting those in those shallow trays and getting those started, absolutely fine. Anything you want to plant in here other than your acid-loving plants like your Leucothoe or your azaleas or your rhododendrons, they are going to live an absolute wonderful life in this compost. And the reason for it is the amazing ingredients in here.
Well, so this is a compost that was only available here at the nursery for many years. It's now available to our customers. You've got composted wood fibre. That forms about 50% of the compost. And the composted wood fibre has been so well composted. It gives you this amazing fibrous, even texture. And that means that when you water, that water is so evenly distributed. It means that there's room for the plants to get oxygen to the roots. There's nothing dank and heavy about this. It
smells so good.
It does.
I can't tell you. It smells just beautiful and healthy, and there's nothing dank and
you can
nasty
just tell
about
that's
it
such
at
a
all.
great quality compost.
So good.
Now you've also got different types of peat in there. So there's a mixture of white and dark peats. Some of those peats are renewable as well, like the sphagnum moss peat is one of those. But obviously some of them aren't, and we have reduced the quantity of those over the years to meet up with environmental needs. But we put in the minimum amount to give the absolute maximum results. You've also got a slow release fertiliser here. So all of these little green balls that you can see, they will feed the plants for up to 5 and 6 months. There's also what we call a pH buffer in here. So most plants do like their environment to be round about neutral, maybe slightly acidic. So we say just on the acidic side of neutral. So the pH buffer that's added to this creates that perfect pH for most plants. It's not the right compost for acid-loving plants.
Nope.
So azaleas, camellias, Leucothoe that we've got, but for most plants, it is absolutely perfect. There's also wetting agent in there. Now, do you know, for years, Bex, I couldn't really find the right words for the wetting agent. But our head gardener came up with a great way of describing it, didn't he?
Yeah, it makes the water sticky.
Yeah. So in simple terms, right? You've got a lovely hanging basket, and you've just not looked at it for a few days, and suddenly it's all dried out, and the compost is like rock hard. So you get your watering can, oh God, I'm going to water that basket, and then the water goes all over the side and on you.
And you have to keep drenching it for it to actually get in there.
Well, the wetting agent means that water is sticky, so it just, as you water, it goes to the compost.
Yeah. It doesn't overwater it. It doesn't mean that it holds on to too much water.
No, it doesn't
It just helps the water to get in there. It's brilliant.
It's really clever.
So good. Didn't he talked about it being a surfactant, basically. Yes. You know, when you've got a glass and you fill it to its brim and it's sort of going like this on the top, and then you put a surfactant in and it makes the water go. That's what we're talking about.
So that's a quick overview. Now, we are going to give you 2 50-litre bags for $24.90. If you are a club member, I know lots of you joined the club, you get nearly £2.50 off that as well.
Absolutely.
And the club membership is £5 today.
Well worth joining that club, even if you're just placing an order on compost, because you'll save that £2.50.
Have we had lots of new club members today?
Oh, we haven't looked.
We'll have a look.
Can you grab that pot?
Thank you to those of you that have joined us today for the first time.
Yeah, really, really busy. Definitely getting into spring feeling, aren't we? We can tell that because loads and loads of viewers, lots of new people watching, so that's brilliant. What was that?
Who's asked this question?
Oh, we asked it. Does Shaun look slimmer with a beard? We'll have to shave it off to find out.
Oh, my
Oh!
There you go. That picture, by the way, is about 15 years old.
I remember those pictures being done. That was when I was. They were doing that when I was presenter manager.
I mean, how? Yeah.
Wow. See, this is why Shaun was known as the Peter Pan of shopping telly. Because didn't he look baby-faced? Even then.
I don't now.
Look.
I'll tell you, it's just trying to do the pose. Don't look you now.
Oh, you look so much better now.
Yeah, thanks.
You look so much better now.
Oh, dear. Oh, God.
That's brilliant.
That picture is really old, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember those being done.
I look so skinny on it as well, don't I?
Hilarious.
Like it could snap me in two.
Right,
Anyway.
the Knox hanging basket.
Yes.
If you want something to tip your basket over that £40, if you just want an incredible deal today, then your Knox hanging basket is what you want to add in here, because this is a buy one, get one free. So it's £4.99 and you will get both of these. Put one in your basket, enter that code right there, YGTV0424. We will put the other one in your basket for you. You can use it as a pot on its own if you like. Look, you've got drainage in the bottom plus the channels for the extra drainage to run away. Or...
Do you know what I'm thinking? You know we had the question about the starfish lily earlier?
Oh, yeah.
They'd be fine in there, wouldn't they?
Totally, yeah.
I would put three in, yeah.
3 in here. That'd be fine. And you can use these as hanging baskets as well if you want to, because as you can see, it's very easy to add those hanging bits on there or remove them as and when you want to as well. They just simply clip off. So you've got options of what you want to do. And they look beautiful too.
Yeah. So Joe wanted to know that, apparently.
There you go, Joe.
Yeah.
You can use those.
So they're amazing. Now, they are on offer today, but obviously our offers are only valid for so many weeks. So if you do want to take advantage, they are working out £2.50 each.
Aged look Tuscany planters are next. Great deal on these
I keep
as
saying
well.
I've got an aged look, but seeing that younger picture of me, I have got an aged look now.
Yeah, and it's much better.
Do you think? Good.
Yeah.
Well, these are great, aren't they?
These are great because these are huge. Okay, so 46 centimetre diameter. We're talking big. They're 30-litre pots, so really decent size. You could grow, patio fruit trees and things in here. The mimosa, for example,
that'd do really well in
would look
there.
Absolutely beautiful.
Do you know, actually, Bex,
in here.
the yellow flowers against that black would look quite spectacular.
Now I want this as well.
Yes.
So now I want to buy the mimosa and the Tuscany pots because that will live its life really happily in here, and the yellow against the black will just be incredible.
I'm going to buy 2 mimosas.
Are you?
I really want them.
I want one as well.
But I'm going to put mine in the ground. I have got an area with a sheltered wall.
I'm going pot.
But anyway, they're amazing. $11.99 130278.
Lovely. And
if you want the mimosa, which has been really popular today, $24.99. So just remember, it is a Mediterranean plant. You can grow them in the UK, but you need to find the right spot. Hardy to up to -5. You want a sunny spot, so south-facing ideal, well-drained soil. Or grow it in a pot and then you are in control. Then you can protect it if it's going to be particularly cold. Then you can
I'm doing that.
Well, the great thing is with the pot, you can move it against the wall of the house and things, can't you? You can move it indoors or in a garage or a shed if it got particularly cold. But they can grow. I mean, I've got some friends in my village and they've got a tree, a mimosa tree.
Yeah.
And it must have been there decades.
Yeah.
And obviously it survives because it's really hardy now.
There you go.
So anyway, loads you're going for that one. You can get these amazing pom-poms of yellow and the most incredible foliage. There's something kind of Jurassic about it. Amazing.
So my mother-in-law gave me a little bit of cash for my birthday.
Did she?
She did.
What's cash?
What's that? Yes, I got
like old-fashioned cash.
Old-fashioned actual cash.
Right,
actual
really?
folding money. Yeah, it's brilliant.
Folded money in an envelope.
So do you know what? The mimosa is going to go into my basket along with the Tuscany planters.
Lovely.
And that's going to be her birthday gift to me.
Cool. Oh, that's a lovely idea.
I think that's a lovely idea as well.
Right, quickly as well.
Rita.
Yes, thank you, Rita. Can't wait to see how that does, actually.
Yeah.
And then also, I love these. These are the brand new April planters. Pair of these. And if you, we looked at the pattern earlier, and we both agreed. We think it's been inspired by dahlias.
It looks like a dahlia, yeah. I do agree. I think that has been inspired by those beautiful layer upon layer of dahlias that you get. Petals of dahlias.
Really sophisticated, yeah.
There it is.
And actually, these would be perfect. One dahlia in here would do, actually.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, it looked lost to start with, but through the through the season as the foliage grows, it will soon fill this absolutely beautifully.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, sorry, I moved it.
If you want to go for those April planters, absolutely gorgeous, and postage is included at £24.98.
Oh, now we're going to go back to our begonias. Apparently we have been asked a question about the begonias. What's the question, Stu?
He's lost it
He's
now.
lost it. He's keeping us in suspense. We're fine. We'll wait for you.
Hazel it is.
Hello, Hazel. How many would you put in a standard hanging basket? Standard hanging basket being 30 centimetres?
Probably 12 to 14 inch, I'd say standard.
12 to 14 inch, that's about, So 1, 2, 3, 4, I'd go 5.
I would go 5.
Yeah, I'd go 5.
Yeah, because each one of these will grow to about 40 by 40, we say, maximum.
So it'd be a lovely full hanging basket. Yeah. So yeah, I'd probably go 5.
Yeah.
And once they grow, you'll be able to see which is trailing,
I'd
which is
say
upright.
they'd do 2 hanging baskets.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to get a bag, which is going to fill my 2 hanging baskets. So 5 in each. That is my plan for my begonias. And then I'm going to get another 2 bags to go in some big pots.
And actually, if you're starting them early, you've got plenty of time for that basket flight. Just remember, you've got to keep them frost-free.
Yes.
So that until the risk of frost has gone, you need to keep them frost-free. But you can start growing them early, grow them inside. You might have a greenhouse, potting shed, something like that. Or just on a windowsill.
Yeah, lovely. Oh, Hazel, is it your first time growing the begonias? If it is, you're going to be so pleased. You are going to be so pleased you got these. Yeah. So pleased.
I'm just thinking, it's too late now, but I'll have to find some pictures. Next time we do the show, on Wednesday, I'll bring some pictures in of my begonias as well.
Oh, Stu, did you get my pictures?
Oh, yeah, you've got yours, haven't you?
Did you manage to sort my pictures out?
How many did you put in yours, Bex? You remember?
I'm trying to remember back, because it was last year, so I did pots. They were quite big pots. I'm just going to say probably 4 in each of these pots. And wait till you see these pictures, because they are amazing. And it just kept flowering, kept going. It was the best thing I planted last year. And I planted lots of stuff. It genuinely was the best thing that I planted in my garden last year.
And this has been the most popular item on the show today.
It always is. Honestly, whenever we bring you begonia... There they are.
Oh,
so those 3 pots at the front there. So 3 separate pots.
I mean, look at them, Bex.
Look at how beautiful they are. There's 1 pot. Look at that 1 pot, because I moved them, because I just thought you can't really see them there. And I reckon there's 4 in there. I can't really remember, but I think there was 4 in that pot. And honestly, that is 2 or 3. That's 2 feet wide, 3 feet wide.
Do you know, Bex, I'm looking at the different colours. There's definitely no more than 5, is there?
I don't think there is.
No, there isn't.
Definitely no more. I think it's about 4 personally that I put in each of those pots. But yeah, 5 absolute maximum is what went in there, and they just look like that all summer long, and with very little work from me at all. Promise you, the best thing that you will plant in your garden. It's a top favourite. It's either the favourite or at least in the top 3 of the summer flowering plants that you can get, and that's because of the guaranteed performance that you get from these. Tolerates all the summer weathers, hot, dry, wet, windy. It doesn't care. Just does its thing. It's amazing.
Sorry.
Bless him. He's getting there. He's getting better.
It's slowly but surely.
It's disappearing.
It's taken ages, this cough, hasn't it?
I know. So there'll be loads of people at home that are saying exactly the same thing, though, to be honest with you.
It is a lot better than it was.
They'll be saying the same. Right, bring in the salix.
Yes.
Let's show them the beautiful salix. I'll get the board.
Yeah. Now, the great thing is, when you receive this, you do get full care instructions on it. And they are on our website. But I've grown these myself, and they do like, it is at the end of the day, it's a willow, so it does like the soil to be nice and moist.
Yep, free draining.
Yeah, not waterlogged, but it does like moist soil. Mine was it got some sun, but not a huge amount, but it will, obviously, it does like sun as well.
Yeah, it likes a sunny spot, but kind of other than that, there's very little that you need to do to this.
They really...
You want to feed it occasionally, particularly if you're keeping it in a pot, obviously. Anything in a pot you need to feed. Add some mycorrhizal into the pot.
But they're pretty bulletproof.
They are.
And what will happen, it's hazel, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Hazel, the top, because this will never get really, really tall.
Oh, Dawn, sorry.
Dawn.
Hazel was asking about the begonias. It's Dawn.
Sorry,
for this
Dawn.
one.
The top will get bigger and fuller, so you'll get lots more branches from the actual top over the year. So this will get fuller and bigger.
Cascades.
And it honestly looks amazing. You can thin it out. And then sometimes these will get too long.
Yeah, they'll touch the ground.
Yeah, but again, once the catkins have gone over, that's when I used to give man a really good prune.
And all you need to do is take a pair of shears, to be honest with you, and just cut it to the desired length. That's all you need to do.
But they are really
easy.
Easy. Yeah. I mean, mine was in the corner of the garden next to water feature, and I'll be honest, it did not get a lot of attention.
No.
It didn't need it.
It really doesn't.
It's not one of those plants that's constantly saying, no, I need this, I need that. Feed me, water me, trim me. No, it's not like that.
Yeah, but this is why this is a real popular one, particularly for gardens and things, because it's been grafted onto that miniature rootstock, and it's so easy to look after.
The only thing I'd say is if it's in a pot, just keep your eye on the watering, because it does like a lot of water. We are out of time.
Boo!
I know. Can we just say we really appreciate everyone that's watched, that's ordered. Really appreciate it. And we are back Wednesday 10 till 1, Thursday 10 till 1. And Sunday 10 till 2.
Yes, and tune in tomorrow on QVC. Shaun will be there from 10 o'clock with You Garden, doing a gardening show. Loads of new different products that'll be on there.
Yes, that's QVC Freeview 16, the UK's biggest and best shopping channel.
And then come back and watch us on Wednesday and Thursday. You can always stream the shows as well.
And if you are new and you're thinking, oh, I missed the shows last week, you can actually stream them.
Yeah, go back on.
So they're on our website. Or any show you've missed on YouTube, And
what's been your favourite?
I love the Dahlia, the Blackberry.
Yeah. Begonias, obviously.
Begonias, yeah. Definitely want the Begonias. Mimosa, I'm going to get 2 of those.
I want Gladioli, and obviously I've got my Calla lily, Begonias, and I'm definitely going to get some Dahlias and do those this year.
Yeah. But there's so much choice. Few quick reminders. Spend over £40, you get free delivery.
Yes, indeed. Under £40, you'll only ever pay 1 postage cost. So if you're on a budget, that's absolutely fine.
If you are putting an order together now and you're not a club member, you can save 10% on your order by becoming a club member. There's a little reminder as you check out, and it's £5 for the year on auto renewal, but you can cancel that at the end of the 12 months. We've got over 40,000 club members now.
That's it, and it's growing every single day. Always remember, please, to enter the code that you will see on the screen. There
you go.
YGTV0424 is this week's code. That is what unlocks free postage. Double up deals, buy one, get one frees, all of the special things that we have going on in the offers, but it also enters into your basket a wonderful free gift, free gift with purchase. Every single one of you ordering will get the 150 spring and summer flowering bulbs. And then we did sell those, they're worth £20. They are indeed. So you get that with every single order. I will not get my cough out, you know. No, it's just 4 hours of talking, that's all it is. So for myself, Shaun Ryan, and the wonderful Bex Edwards. And Stuart out in his control room. Thank you so much for your company. Yeah, we need to see Stu more often. I think we've loved being with you this fabulous Sunday. I've checked the weather, don't forget. Really good next week. Yeah, get out in the garden. You'll be able to get out there. Enjoy the weather. Enjoy your garden. And keep ordering after the show. So we'll see you on Wednesday. Have a lovely week, whatever you're doing. And we will see you on New Garden TV on Wednesday at 10 o'clock.